And we are live from Russel E. Diethrick Park, where the 3-4 Olean Oilers come in to take on your league-leading 6-1 Jamestown Tarp Skunks. It is a beautiful day for baseball as Dre Guinness alongside Jalen Ferguson is set to bring you this PGCBL Western Division matchup. And Jalen, what a start for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, coming in, winning the first 6 of their first 7 ball games here.
Yeah.
And they're just showing dominance.
Yeah, like you said, winning 6 of your first 7. But not only that, I do want to also mention they went on the road last week, had 4 straight road games, and won all of them. That is pretty hard to do, and they were able to do it. Though there were some tough teams, but they were able to manage to win all of those road games last week.
Yeah, you know, the game in Batavia going 10 innings, the Tarp Skunks showing that intestinal fortitude to stay in the ball game, tied up in the 9th, and then go ahead and win it in the 10th. Then on the road to Newark, just taking care of business there with a 10-6 win. Blake Herman with that inside the park home run. And then we go to Niagara Falls, where Grant Moore hits an inside the park home run. Branson Lindquist puts up 6 RBIs. And for those of you that are wondering, the injury to Blake Herman, not as serious. He is in the starting lineup today as the designated hitter, not in the field. So Coach Redbach is going to give him a little extra time to rest that injury. Not sure if it was the knee or the ankle, but it is good to see that he is not seriously hurt after that. And I know that was a big concern for, in your mind, in my mind, and in everybody else's mind, the entire ride home.
Yeah, because when I went to the locker room, he was trying to walk it off, and he was on the bus trying to walk it off. But it's good to see him back in the starting lineup now. Another name that's not in the starting lineup is Matthew Dumas. He is, again, not in the starting lineup. However, he is on the bench. We will see if he does get some playing time or if not, if he's still sick. We still wish him a speedy recovery and all that.
And we'd like to welcome back a new a familiar face to the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Justin Bremner has checked in with the team. He will not be starting today, but he may get a pinch hit appearance later in the game. But it's good to have Justin Bremner back in a Tarp Skunks uniform. We are about ready for the national anthem, so we're going to step away and let them do that. We'll be back with the first pitch momentarily and the starting lineups. National anthem is done and over. We are almost set for Tarp Skunks baseball here from Russel E. Diethrick Park. It is Kids Day and a packed house here in Jamestown. Let's give you the visiting starting lineups for the Olean Oilers. Leading off and playing center fielder, Connor Vercolone. The second batter, Grant Fournier, out in center field. The catcher, Anthony Radice, will bat third. Jack Painter, the designated hitter, will clean up. Christo Hunsaker, the extra hitter, he will hit fifth. Thomas Bates will bat sixth and play first base. Connor O'Mara, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Cooper Tartley will hit eighth and in right field. Third baseman Derek Stout will bat ninth, and Dana Williams will bat 10th. On the mound for the Olean Oilers will be Jackson Ross, his second start here at Diethrick Park. Give you the home lineups. Grant Moore leading off and playing center field. Eric Weeks, the right fielder, will bat second. James Dixon bats third and plays third. Blake Herman will be the designated hitter, batting fourth. Batting fifth, Heath Fetchick. Caleb Jordan will bat sixth and play second. Branson Lindquist behind the dish will bat seventh. Joaquin Rodriguez Costa will bat eighth and play first base. Left fielder Anthony Trommer will bat ninth and play left, and Tito Kiefer will be the shortstop, batting 10th. On the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, Ryan TATAR, his second start on the season. No record with a 10.13 ERA in his only start against Batavia. Did a really good job against the Batavia Muck Dogs. Kept the Skunks in the game. Only gave up 3 runs in a few innings, and that was the game that the Tarp Skunks came back and beat the Muck Dogs in extra innings. That was a tremendous ball game.
That game was pretty down to the wire there. But it is good to see how they can do. And like you said, it's Kids Day, so it's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be very loud. I wonder how these teams play in an environment like this.
Well, we're about to find out. And I can tell you from the last 2 years, the Skunks have thrived here on Kids Day as Connor Vercolone stands in, facing Ryan TATAR, and the first pitch of the ball game comes in and hits him.
That is not a start that you want. Hitting the batter on the first pitch of the game.
77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, a bit humid. Breeze blowing out to dead center. That is not something you see every day here at Diethrick Park, as Grant Fournier, the center fielder, will stand in. And
like I said, it's very humid today. It's very hot.
Uh-oh.
Yep, some of that sun is starting to come out.
There we go. So as Grant Fournier comes in, runner at first, nobody out here. TATAR will have to pitch from the stretch. First pitch fouled straight back. And it's 0-1 to the Oilers center fielder.
Yeah, you got to protect here against the leadoff batter, Vercolone, at first.
That one taken on the outside corner for a strike quickly, 0-2.
And I think that runner at first is starting to wake up TATAR a little bit. Like, okay, it's time to get serious here.
Kids getting into it here. The pitch low in the dirt, gets behind Lindquist, and moving over to second will be Vercolone. And so 1-2 now with a runner in scoring position.
The thing is that our backstop is a lot deeper, just like a few other ballparks.
So nice to be home.
It is. It's really good to be home.
That one just a little low.
That was a good spot by TATAR, but also good being able to frame it is Branson Lindquist.
So now Fournier working his way back to an even count, 2-2, and the pitch. Cold strike 3. And the first out.
And I know that TATAR was fired up after that strikeout. He might not show it, but on the inside, he is ready to go and get him now.
As Anthony Radice, the catcher, sits in.
You just gotta love this energy here at a ballpark when you are a player on the field.
As it is Kids Day, this is a kids game as the first pitch taken for a strike. 0-1, and it's always nice when the kids are out because they are here for it. They want to have a good time just as much as everybody else.
Yeah, you gotta make baseball. You gotta make baseball as fun as you can make it. Even though you're trying to get the win, you want to make it fun as well.
Swing and a miss, and it goes to 0-2 quickly. So TATAR not showing any real signs of wildness outside the first pitch of the ball game. Has settled down here.
Again, like you said, you almost missed this ballpark.
Swing and a miss. TATAR 2 consecutive strikeouts.
That's what you like to see. Hitting the first hitter by a pitch, but then you come back and strike out the next two. Way to fight back.
As Jack Painter, the designated hitter, stands in. 2 down here. And Vercoloni's still off first, or off second. That first pitch just misses off the outside edge for a ball. 1-0.
And I remember back in the Americans game how the umpire was standing a little inside. This umpire is standing inside for a lefty, but outside for the rest.
Yeah, he's almost right on top of it. Has a great view of both sides of the plate as that one poured in for a strike. 1-1.
And being able to work the count here. TATAR wants to get out of this inning here.
Nothing would get the Skunks momentum than a quick top of the first here. As the pitch comes in just off the plate, 2-1.
And Branston Lindquist has shown that he has been able to block some of the balls going to the backstop, and that's what you need out of a catcher when a save runs.
2-1. That one taken for a strike. 2-2 now.
I'm noticing that this umpire has a little bit of a wider strike zone than you would see out of most of these games.
And back to your point, I think it's because of where he's lining up. He's right over the plate. As that one comes inside, 3-2. He's got a good look. As the count full.
And TATAR is going to have to put it in the zone. Whether he's going to make contact or not, he's going to have to put it in the zone here.
Breaking ball, sword swing, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 3 straight strikeouts for TATAR as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Olean nothing, and the Tarp Skunks coming to bat. Back here in Jamestown, no scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Grant Moore, Eric Weeks. Who do you got there? James Dixon. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And they will face the left-hander Jackson Ross. Ross, third appearance against the Tarp Skunks. First one was in relief. Second one was the start where the Olean Oilers hung the only loss on the Tarp Skunks in that 11-1 mercy. As Grant Moore stands in, batting .450 on the season, takes the first pitch he sees for a called strike one. And Grant Moore continuing to tear the ball up, batting .450 coming into this ball game.
We'd be remiss to not mention this if he hit that inside the park home run against the Niagara Americans.
Niagara Falls Americans in Niagara Falls, the place he used to play, as there's a ground ball to short, kicked by the shortstop Williams, and Grant Moore is aboard.
That'll be an E6 on Williams. He wasn't able to make a grab on that, and just like that, Grant Moore still being able to get on base.
So now it's going to bring up Eric Weeks. Weeks playing in right field. He has been a spark plug since he's come in, picking up right where he left off. As Moore taking a modest lead off first, and the first pitch comes in for a strike. It's 0-1.
And with the umpire strike zone being as wide as it is, these batters are going to have to protect a lot more. Don't want to let anything by you.
Snap over to first, but Moore casually stepping back on the bag.
Like you said, he did take a modest lead. Maybe it's because it's a lefty. You would see him a little bit more aggressive when it's a righty pitcher.
There's a drive into right center field. That ball is going to fall for a base hit and kicked by the center fielder Fournier. Rounding third on his way to the plate is Grant Moore. Here comes the throw to third, not in time. Eric Weeks with a RBI. And the Tarp Skunks lead 1-0.
That's what you got to do when you put the ball in play. And like you said before the game, how the wind is blowing straight to dead center. He drove that into the gap and was able to stretch it for extra bases and gets the RBI triple to start out the game.
I was waiting whether to call it a double or a triple based off the kick off the glove, but they are going to give him the triple and the RBI as James Dixon stands in now. Nobody out, and the Tarp Skunks up 1-0. First pitch to Dixon, taken for a strike. 0-1 the count, and that is the way, especially on Kids Day, you get that charge from the kids.
Yeah, you do get that charge from the kids, and not only that, they like to be well in tune with the team.
0-1 taken for a strike, 0-2 now. Tarp Skunks third baseman with an opportunity to extend the lead here.
Well, he's quickly behind 0-2, so he's going to have to protect here. Umpire's calling a lot more strikes tonight.
Ross not afraid to go at the strike zone. So that one in the dirt. Good stop by Radice behind the plate. 1-2.
Like you said, Ross was the pitcher when they mercied us in our second home game of the season. But the Tarp Skunks have been able to quickly attack him to start it off.
The 1-2. Breaking ball on the inside corner called strike three, and Dixon goes down looking for the first out of the inning.
I'm not really proud of that at bat. He kind of kept his bat on the shoulder almost that whole at bat. He's going to have to swing. He's going to have to protect here.
You know, it's also good information, though. You know, he could take that back to the dugout, let everybody know behind him, look, he's going to call that pitch on the inside corner. So now you have to look for it. Oh, I mean, it's a strikeout looking, but you get information from it. Because that one First pitch to Blake Herman way outside for a ball, 1-0.
Like you said, Blake is the DH today. Not trying to overwork him in the outfield. Want to bring him back to 100%.
Plus, he's seen more pitches now. As that one is taken for a strike, 1-1. He's seen more pitches now than he did on Saturday night in Niagara Falls. First pitch hit by pitch. Came around to score, but foot got tangled up in that turf. And again, thankfully, he's okay. The 1-1 pitch. So again, there's a one-hopper right to first. Not going to tag the plate as he comes home. Weeks tries to score, and he is thrown out at the plate.
Yeah, they're going to give Herman the fielder's choice on that one. Weeks, I mean, I can appreciate the aggressiveness, but at the same time, it never left the infield. The pitcher or the first baseman was looking at Weeks the whole time. And Weeks got out at the home plate.
Yeah, and you know, the Oilers could be out of the inning right now. The first baseman, Bates, could have tagged the bag and then come home, but instead he just planted his foot and came home. Had an opportunity for a double play and blew it as Heath Fetchick stands in.
Fetchick is going with the orange tape tonight. I wonder what that means. I remember back in Niagara Falls, they were wearing the pink tape.
Could be a nod to his college. Could be a nod to the Baltimore Orioles. Who knows? So there's a foul off to the right out of play. And it's 1-1.
Or it could be a nod to the Mets. I know we got a couple of Mets fans in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, he could be a Mets fan, too. That's a good call. I keep forgetting about the Mets.
You're not really missing out on anything with them.
Not much, no. Herman off first. The 1-1 swing. There's a ground ball through the hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Herman's going to hit the bag at second, turn the corner, and head to third. Here comes the throw, and it is cut off. Runners at the corners now with 2 down on the base hit by Heath Fetchick.
A good base hit by Fetchick, but I'm noticing that the Oilers have been struggling to get a good hand on the ball today. They have bobbled it a lot.
There was a little drizzle that happened this morning, a little overnight, wondering how damp that field is and if that's going to affect the players out there as they try to field and throw the ball. So we had to re-anchor the bag. As Blake Herman dislodging it on his aggressive slide. As Caleb Jordan stands in. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Ross trying to get out of this with minimal damage given up. First pitch taken low for a ball. And it's 1-0.
It's a good situation to be attacking them early. You got one in first and one in third. But again, you got 2 outs here.
That one off the plate and away, 2-0.
If he wants to bring home Herman, he's going to have to drive it into the outfield.
Branston Lindquist on deck. Runner goes. No, he doesn't. A little deke over at first had me fooled as that one in the dirt 2-0, or make it 3-0.
You gotta love the Tarp Skunks. Their base running aggressiveness, but also their style of play, trying to get into the pitcher's head. And you usually see that against lefties because they're looking dead at them.
There's a ground ball fouled on the first base line. And the count goes 3-1.
Oilers could also be struggling because, again, it's Kids Day. And that energy just coming out of the gates might be throwing them off a little bit.
(3-1) Swinging, there's a pop-up foul back toward us, but it's going to go out of play. And the count will go full, 3-2.
Just hitting the upper deck.
Glad to have you with us here on this beautiful Tuesday morning here in Jamestown, New York. Starting to feel like summer a little bit, Jalen.
It is. I mean, it's not getting cold when the sun goes down.
What a difference a week makes here. So runner goes, pitch taken outside for a ball, and the bases are loaded for the RBI machine, Branston Lindquist.
Like you said, Lindquist had 6 RBIs against the Americans and went 3 for 4. That really changed his batting average drastically.
Yeah, he had gone into that game. Batting 200, coming out batting 308. And now the Faulkner native right at home in his home park, looking to give these kids something to scream about here as the first pitch taken down for a ball, 1-0.
They already done that. I want to do it more. They driven in 1 on 2 hits.
Herman off third, Fetchick at second. And Jordan off first as a meeting at the mound between Reddies and Jackson.
Just trying to tell them to get out of this inning. You only got 1 out, or you only need 1 out to get out of this inning.
They may have been talking about pitch sequence at that point.
That also could be true.
Pitch sequence and location, very important in this situation. There's a breaking ball. There's a drive into left field. That ball is way back there, and it is off the Blue Monster. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. Being held up at third is Caleb Jordan. Branston Lindquist just missed a grand slam by about 3 feet. 2-run score, and it's 3-0 Tarp Skunks.
And like you said, using that wind, driving it out to left, it just hit off the Blue Monster, and now you're driven in. And you're driven in 1 after that. That's the thing, when you hit it off the Blue Monster, they were able to read the bounce, so they were able to hold the runner at third. Branston was still able to get that double.
Man, looking at that one off the bat, I would swear that was gone. It bounced off the Blue Monster right above the Bull and the Merrill sign in left field. And about 3/4 of the way up, I'd have to distance that at about we'll call that about 355. And again, that is the 3rd year in a row that the Blue Monster has taken a home run away from a Tarp Skunk.
Also taking a home run away from the Oilers. I remember back in the home opener, somebody almost hit a home run and just hit off the Blue Monster right next to the batter's eye.
That came close to being the second Tarp Skunks grand slam on the season, as the first pitch to Joaquin Rodriguez Costa is outside for a ball, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, he's still trying to figure it out at the plate. He also want to build off of this momentum.
Still looking for his first base knock of the season. There's a little fister towards short. It's going to take a 1-hop. Bobbled by Williams at short, and they may give him a base hit on that one. That would have been a tough play. Run comes in to score, and it's 4-0.
You know, even though JRC is not the fastest, like you said, that was a tough play for the shortstop. I think he could have still even beat it out.
So Jordan scores. Moving over to third is Branston Lindquist, and yes, that is JRC's first hit, first RBI of the season.
And this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 6th game that the Tarp Skunks have struck first in a game.
There's a ground ball toward short. Another chance for Williams on the short hop. Throws it over to second. And the inning is over. 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors committed, and 2 left. We go to the top of the second inning. It's 4-0 Jamestown. Welcome back to Jamestown, where the Tarp Skunks open up a 4-0 lead as we go to the top of the second inning. It'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Olean Oilers. Christo Hunsicker, Thomas Bates, and Connor O'Mara, and they will face Ryan TATAR on the mound for his second inning of work. And looking to follow up on an excellent first inning of work. Hit the first batter he faced, but then struck out the next 3 Oilers in a row. It's Christo Hunsicker, right-handed hitter, coming in for his first at-bat of the game. His bat has been pretty quiet against the Tarp Skunks this season. First pitch, cut on and missed. 0-1.
Yeah, and like you said, maybe the Tarp Skunks just have him figured out here.
And TATAR working backwards in this at-bat, starting him off with a breaking ball. And TATAR was definitely looking fastball. So now 0-1. There's another breaking ball fouled off to the right. Quickly 0-2.
Thankfully, they hit the net. He almost winced a little bit. That one came off a little fast off the bat.
So now 0-2. TATAR kicks and throws. That one just missing on the inside corner, 2-1. Or 1-2, and that was...
Yeah, that was pretty close.
That was a good pitch. It was a little bit further inside than the one that Jordan was called out on strikes. That one up, and it goes 2-2.
And again, even though the pitching has gotten a lot better as the season progressed for the Tarp Skunks, one thing that they still need to work on is finishing out this at bat. Went 0-2 or 0-2 to 2-2.
And that one's fouled off. Well, the 0-2 pitch, the breaking ball in the inside corner, you know, that was a good call on that. No problem with that. The next pitch, that fastball that missed up, you know, that was just, you know, attacking the zone again, just missed location a little bit. So TATAR has been around where he wants to be. And the 2-2, there's a pop-up foul, first base side, JRC going out after it, and just out of his reach.
Yeah, he was on the warning track. I think he was also trying not to hit the wall there. That's pretty close.
And we'll do 2-2 again. Hunsicker with a good battle here. Tarp Skunks sent 9 batters to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. And as you were mentioning, this is the 6th or 7th time in 8 games. Ooh, and that one hitting Hunsicker on the shoulder.
And once again, leading off an inning with a base runner. He's going to need to wake up and finish this out.
You got to give Hunsicker a lot of credit, bouncing off his shoulder. He no-sold it all the way down to first base.
Also got to give him some credit on extending that at bat with 2 foul balls.
Yeah. 3, I think. I don't know. I lost count.
Actually, yeah, it was 3 foul balls.
As Thomas Bates stands in, first pitch to him. As there's a ground ball up the middle of that is a base hit. Hunsicker will hold at second. And now quickly 2 on, nobody out here.
Yeah, and that one came right back up the middle. And I saw that TATAR tried to stop it behind his back.
As the second baseman, Connor O'Mara will stand in, left-handed hitter.
And now you got one in scoring position and one at first.
We'll see how TATAR works his way out of this one. JRC playing on the infield grass over at first.
Kiefer is also given the call at second.
Squares to bunt, and that one taken inside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, trying to avoid the bunt there.
Skunks in double play depth on the middle infield. Dixon playing along the bag at third. Moore in center's playing shallow. There's another square to bunt. That one's a beautiful bunt down the first base line right into no man's land. And a base hit loads the bases here with nobody out.
Yeah, that was a pretty good bunt. At that point, he saw his spot. He wanted it down third. He got it. Skunks were not able to make a play on that. Beautiful bunt.
As that'll bring up Cooper Tarley. Tarley started the season toward the top of the order with the Oilers. Now finds himself back toward the bottom. Speedy outfielder. And TATAR in trouble here. It's the infield playing in on the corners. First pitch in the dirt low. Nice stop by Lindquist behind the dish.
You got to remember, like you said, speedy outfielder. You got to remember that diving stop at right field that he made. I think that I think that was the game.
That was the 11-1 game. Yeah, that definitely turned the momentum. One-0. Swinging, there's a chopper foul down the third base side, and evens the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and the corners are in. JRC is on the grass. If it goes to him, he might be going first or going home.
Weeks in right field, cheating in a little bit. He's looking to be able to field anything that might be a weak blooper to the opposite side. Moore takes a couple steps in. That one up and away, and it's 2-1.
And again, the wind blowing out to the left center. The outfield is looking a little bit together.
Moore shading toward the third base side of the bag. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 2-2 now.
Gonna have to work it back. TATAR is down and bases loaded with no outs. He's gonna have to work for these 3 outs here.
And now he's got to figure out his choice. Does he come back with a fastball and challenge, or does he try to go something off speed and try to get him to chase?
Tarley's been looking for that fastball. I think that's what he's sitting on.
2-2, dead red fastball called. Strike 3. Tarley may have been looking for that breaking ball and took fastball right over the heart of zone for strike 3. And so with 1 away and the bases loaded, that will bring up the third baseman, Derek Stout.
And again, that is the second batter for the Olean Oilers that went down looking.
4th strikeout on the day so far for TATAR. I like to see those numbers. And the first pitch is a breaking ball missing way outside for a ball 1-0.
Like you said, he's got 4 strikeouts. Even though the bases are loaded now, he is not the one to give up. He's going to work, and he's going to fight back.
No fear of the strike zone he's shown so far this season. Infield at double play depth. Ground ball could get him out of this inning. Ooh, there's a fastball that just missed, I guess, a little low.
Yeah, that might have
2-0.
That might have clipped the outside corner just a little bit. That was a good spot, though, but TATAR.
So now good hitters count 2-0. TATAR's going to have to come back in with something. There's a foul back on a challenge fastball.
That one hit the press box, actually, just to our right.
Better them than us.
That's one of the rooms where the windows are closed, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, even better. I think those are the owners' suites down there. Owners and visiting dignitaries and what have you. They keep us scrubs on the first base or third base side of the field. There's a line drive, 1 hopper to short, could be 2, 2nd and 1, throw it on to first is not in time. That was a tough hop for Kiefer at short, went the second way for 1, but a run scores.
Yeah, and like you said, that was a pretty tough hop by Kiefer. Took a while to get it to second. And throwing to first was pretty close, but could not get it, so a run does score.
So now it's 4-1 Jamestown.
I don't bring up Williams, actually.
Yeah, Dana Williams, bottom of the order, 10th place hitter. 2 down here. As there's a high fly ball out to center field. Tracking underneath it is Grant Moore. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. A run on 2 hits, 2 runners left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 4-1 Jamestown. Back here at Diethrick Park in Jamestown, New York, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks with a 4-1 lead over the Olean Oilers as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be 10-1-2, due up to face Jackson Ross. I'd like to remind you the Tarp Skunks back home tomorrow as they welcome in the Niagara Falls Americans. Then on the road on Thursday at Batavia. We will have that one for you from Batavia. On the road Friday, that'll be at Geneva YouTube only. And then back home on Saturday and Sunday. Doubleheader on Sunday. First of the season against the Elmira Pioneers. Tito Kiefer stands in, takes the first pitch he sees for a ball, 1-0. You can catch replays of these games the next day on WRFA 107.9 FM in Jamestown. 2 p.m. and at midnight. That one outside for a ball, 2-0.
I wonder how that doubleheader is going to be. It's going to be interesting how Joe Riedebach is going to set up that lineup for both games.
Yeah, the doubleheaders here are always interesting. 7 innings each. Is that one a breaking ball on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. They don't do 9 here. They do 7 on the doubleheaders. It's I call it the COVID rules, because that's really where you saw the that come into effect back in the 2020 COVID season when they would have to do a doubleheader for some reason or another.
Yeah.
They would only do 7 innings.
And they just tried to make up as many of those games as possible. I think they played 82, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was somewhere in the 60s, I think.
Maybe 62.
Because they started, they started July 1st, didn't they? Or somewhere in July. I got to go back and do my COVID baseball history. I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, how many people really want to remember all that stuff?
I mean,
3-2 to Kiefer. There's a line drive opposite field into right field. That is a base hit.
Again, Kiefer. That one was launched off the bat, single. And now you got a very fast base runner at first.
And you have Grant Moore at the dish. Moore, who reached on an error back in the first inning.
So he's officially 0 for 1 for the day.
0 for 1 for the day. He has scored a run. As Eric Weeks stands in, squares to bunt, or make that more. Squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and it's 0-1, 1-0.
You don't usually expect Grant Moore to lay down a bunt. Maybe he's trying something different here today.
Well, Olean got us, so why not? As there's a pitch that goes in the dirt, bounces away from Radice, and moving over to second on the pass ball is going to be Kiefer.
Like I said, that backstop is very deep. A lot of these ballparks, they do have some shallow backstops, but here it's a lot easier to get past.
Yeah, Batavia and Olean jump out of my mind as the shortest backstop. Niagara Falls in third place, and then us. Breaking ball misses up and in, and quickly goes to 3-0. I gotta say, I've always appreciated Diethrick Park. This has always been a beautiful park, but after being on the road, I appreciate it so much more. You know, 3-0 pitch in the dirt. Grant Moore takes the walk, and there are 2 on with nobody out, and that's going to bring up Eric Weeks.
Good job by Grant to get on base again, drawing another walk in. You got to remember that game. I think it was Batavia where he did not have a recorded at bat and got on base 5 times.
Yeah, 0 for 0 in Batavia, 5 times on base.
That is
2 hit by pitch, 3 walks.
That is some MLB level stuff at the dish.
Plate discipline at its finest as Eric Weeks stands in. Already a triple and an RBI in this game. Runner goes from second, throw down to third, and it one-hops in and out of the glove of Stout at third. And Kiefer moves up 90 feet.
I gotta wonder if that was strategy or if it was miscommunication. Was that supposed to be a double steal, or did Grant Moore just not go based off of strategy?
I think that was a green light, do what you want. And now that actually sets up something even better, because if Moore steals, that puts pressure on the catcher. It's a foul back, and it's 1-1.
You know, like you said, you gotta appreciate the ballpark. But like you said, this is the 3rd home game we have had this season out of the 5 road games that we played.
I know. Road Warriors now coming home to defend their house. 0-2. Runner goes. Ball gets away from Radice. Coming in to score is Kiefer, moving all the way to third as Radice having problems finding the baseball.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Grant Moore was able to catch the pitcher sleeping. He didn't cover home plate. So Grant Moore was able to take 2 bases, and Kiefer came around to score.
So now 5-1 on the pass ball. Runner 90 feet away from scoring. And the pitch. There's a foul off to the right, out of play.
And after that foul ball, look to my right, there is action in the Olean bullpen. We'll get a name on him whenever he comes to the mound.
Jackson Ross having one of those nights. He was spectacular the other night here, and now wheels falling apart for him a little bit. Is that one in the dirt? And he's starting, it looks like he's having some of the same issues that he had his first appearance in opening day, where he was having a problem getting elevation on the baseball, and the last 5 pitches have been low in the zone.
And you don't really I mean, even though Ross has had a lot of starts to start out the season, like he's been on the mound.
Another foul off to the right. Weeks wants that one back. And we'll do 2-2 all over again.
You know, and Ross, he has been called to the bullpen or called to the mound a while this season. I don't know what's up with the selection or the pitch selection here today.
2-2. Breaking ball misses out, 3-2. Yeah, he's been having a hard time with his breaking stuff, trying to locate. And then his fastball, has been hit or miss in the zone. He's had a couple good breaking pitches that were called for strikes, but for the most part, they've been wild and they've been low. 3-2. Weeks fouls that one off again, and this is a tremendous battle. I think 8th or 9th pitch now.
Yeah, being able to fight. And I remember it was back in Newark. Or no, it was back in Niagara against the Ironbacks. Paul Delanto extended to a 12-pitch at-bat. I think that's the season high.
We had one back in 24. As that one misses inside for a ball, Jackson Ross thought that hit the corner, and Weeks draws the walk.
Good job by Weeks being able to extend it at that and win the battle.
As the third baseman, James Dixon, stands in. Struck out looking his first time, though.
Hopefully he has a better at-bat. He saw 4 pitches and kept the bat on his shoulder. I would like to see a swing from him.
Well, I think he got the information he needed.
Again, Ross has been all over the place today.
Fouled straight back, 0-1. You know, that's another reason to keep the bat on your shoulder. If he's going to give you free passes, don't do him any favors by swinging at junk. That one close to the zone, though, and Dixon took a had it timed, but just a little under. Weeks goes, pitch taken for a strike, throw down to second, cut off by the shortstop Williams. They were looking at the double steal. Did not happen. So a stolen base and 2 runners in scoring position, but 0-2 to Dixon.
Yeah, that was a good jump by Weeks on the steal. The pitcher kind of took his time with that.
So now 0-2. Nobody out here, bottom of the second, as that one in the dirt. And again, having problems staying up in the zone.
Looking at the middle infielders. There is no longer action in the bullpen, so this might be Ross's last batter here.
It could be. It'd be an early hook. That'd be a rough pitching line, too.
Again, good job by the Tarp Skunks being able to jump on him early.
That one in the dirt. 2-1. Good eye by Dixon.
And maybe the Tarp Skunks had a little bit of an axe to grind against Ross after getting the win on the mercy rule of the second home game of the season.
Well, you got to think revenge definitely on their mind. 2-2 the count. As Dixon waving that bat back and forth. Swing and a miss on a fastball outside, and Dixon goes down. First out of the bottom of the second inning, and Blake Herman comes to bat.
Blake Herman has that sneaking power.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Again, he is the first Tarp Skunk to hit an inside the park home run against Newark.
2 on, 1 out, and that pitch comes back and hits him.
Yep.
And he threw that bat back with disdain.
And again, Blake Herman is not afraid to wear it. I've seen him get hit by the pitch multiple times. He is not afraid to wear it.
I think it's the Canisius thing, because, last year, noticed that with Bremner, with Herman, with Eric Weeks, they have the best mean faces when they go to swing the bat. And I think it's just that mentality, that constant gotta fight.
And there goes Ross. He is done.
Ross is done for the day. We'll get you the new Olean pitcher when we come back. 5-1 Tarp Skunks. Bases are loaded. New pitcher for the Olean Oilers is Preston Lanigan. Sophomore out of Erie, Pennsylvania, calls Penn State Barron his home college. 5'8", 165-pound left-hander. And he is going to inherit a bases-loaded jam here. Four's full of Skunks. I'd like to invite you to come on out tomorrow night as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks will play host to the Niagara Falls Americans. 6:30 first pitch here on the Tarp Skunks YouTube and replayed audio the next day on 107.9 WRFA. Take a moment to tell you this copyrighted broadcast of Tarp Skunks Baseball is presented by the authority of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other uses of the descripts or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is prohibited.
Prohibited. That means the legendary Dre Guinness might show up at your house.
That implies I would actually want to leave my house. I just call a good lawyer. Or Jesse.
Or Christian.
No, I'll call Jesse Ventura. He'll do it. He'll do it for a quesadilla. Heath Fetchick stands in now. Bases loaded. One out here. Forest full of skunks, as I like to say. And the first pitch is taken outside for a ball. 1-0. And
I think it might be a strategy thing on how they took off a lefty and put another lefty on. It means to minimize the base running.
Tarp Skunks put up a lot of right-handed hitters here. That one way outside, 2-0, and the hat comes flying off. Fetchick with a base hit back in the first inning. Came around and scored. And you look at some of the batting averages early on and you start panicking a little bit. Guys are hitting, in the zeros, the 100s and everything. And you have to realize, look, it's still early in the season. As that one breaks over the inside corner for a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, like you said, it is early in the season. But also, when you get the players at the top of the lineup hitting doubles and triples, I mean, it takes a little bit of the pressure off the lower lineups.
2-1. That one way outside, 3-1. And for Lanahan, you can kind of see him tipping his pitches a little bit. That breaking ball definitely coming out of his hand with a different look than his fastball. Yes. And if the Skunks can key in on that, that might be a long day for Lanahan.
You usually don't see it against teams who played 7 games. We saw that against the Americans who played their 3rd game.
As that one taken up high for a ball, and the Tarp Skunks walk in a run here. It is now 6-1.
Gotta love the Tarp Skunks' plate discipline, being able to drive in runs via walks.
Credit Fetchick with an RBI. That's going to bring up the left-handed Caleb Jordan.
Remember, the Oilers, to start out the season, have been able to draw walks, but in their last game, they only was able to draw 2 walks in the loss against Batavia.
Still only 1 out here as that one comes inside. 1-0.
That one was up and inside. Caleb Jordan had to move out of the way. I thought that was going to hit him.
Yeah, almost did. For Jordan, he's already walked once and scored in this game. Love to put a charge in one here. That one up high, 2-0. And Lanahan having issues. Ross still responsible for the runners at 2nd and 3rd. He's still on the hook here.
He's also responsible for 5 runs being driven across.
6.
Or 6, yeah.
That one up high, 3-0, and Lanahan has yet to find the strike zone.
Yeah, Lanahan is having some trouble here. I'm not too sure how many games he's been in. But again, like I said, pitching difficulties is usually at the beginning of the season, which it still is.
Yeah.
But the Tarp Skunks have been able to figure that out quickly.
You know, 5'8", he comes in one of the shorter pitchers. We saw a couple last year, you know, the shorter pitchers, under 5'10", 5'11", seem to have difficulty finding, you know, their way on this mound, and I don't know what it is.
I think it's because you would have to stretch out the plant.
And they're having to pitch more uphill, I think. 3-0. That one misses. 2 consecutive walks. Another run comes in, and the Tarp Skunks now lead 7-1.
Again, it was kind of like this against the Americans last week, driving 7 in to start off the game. Here comes Branston Lindquist.
Lindquist with that monstrous 3-run double.
He's shown that he can drive in runners.
And make that 2-run double. As that one misses for a ball. And Lanigan all over the place. I had to check down and see if there might be a reserve warming up, and not yet.
No, not yet. I would just want him to finish out this inning. Like you said before, to hook another pitcher could cause some morale issues.
That one missing, and it's 2-0. Herman at third is the last runner responsible by Jackson Ross. Fetchick at second. Jordan at first. They belong to Lanigan. Branston Lindquist salivating.
I love the plate discipline by him.
Ooh, good fastball. Lindquist held up his swing, and that one right at the knees on the inside corner. And finally, Lanigan finds the zone. It's 2-1.
I think Lindquist, even though he wanted to swing at that, but I think he just wanted to make sure that that was a strike for the next pitch.
That one misses down and in, 3-1, and Lanigan 1 pitch away from walking in all 3 batters that Ross was responsible for when he came in, and then he'll be in a forceful skunk situation himself.
And again, still 1 away. And that was James Dixon striking out for the second time.
There's a ground ball to third. Nice pick. Throw to home for 1. That's all they'll get. Herman thrown out trying to score on the fielder's choice. 5-2 on the putout, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, I mean, Branston Lindquist, he was able to get on base there. But again, want to get on base with a purpose. Driving a run. Unfortunately, they threw it at the plate. Now bringing up JRC, the first baseman.
So now on Rodriguez Costa stands in, takes the first pitch he sees for a ball, and it's 1-0.
If I'm not mistaken, JRC was able to extend an at bat for 9 pitches, or maybe that was Weeks that did that.
Yeah, that was Weeks. Tall left-hander stands in. That one off the zone, 2-0.
You know, these last 2 games, I think the bottom of the lineup is starting to figure it out. In the hitting, Branston Lindquist, he had a slow start at the plate. Then he had that monster game against the Americans. And once again, driving in some runs tonight.
JRC getting his first hit of the season today. That could open the floodgates, as there's a fastball strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
But still, Traumer is yet to figure it out at the plate.
It'll come eventually. The 2-1, that one way inside, 3-1.
That was inside. That was going to come for his elbow. But it wasn't inside enough.
So we can close the book on Ross. 7 runs, 4 hits on 1 1/3 innings. That's going to balloon his ERA. 3-1. There's a drive out into left field. Going back on it and unable to get it is Vercoloni. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, coming around third, and scoring is Lindquist. A 3-run double for JRC, and it's 10-1 Tarp Skunks.
And again, like you said, the floodgates opening. JRC getting some runs batted in tonight.
JRC now with 4 RBIs in the ball game as Anthony Traumer comes in. 10th batter to the plate for the Skunks.
As the top of the lineup is on deck right now. No, that's Kiefer actually on deck.
Yeah, Kiefer on deck. He would be number 11 if Traumer gets on. That one missing outside for a ball, 1-0. And JRC put that Oppo Taco charge in it.
And there is action in the Olean bullpen and once again.
Is that one missing outside, 2-0. I mean, you know, you don't like throwing it out, the M word this early, but with a 10-1 lead in the second inning, mercy rule 12 after 6, 10 after 7. This could be a short day for the kids here at the ballpark. And the 2-0 missing low, 3-0.
You know, like you said, yeah, you don't want to throw out the M word because there's still plenty of baseball to be played. I remember against the Americans how quickly they were able to strike, but then the Americans were able to put in 5 runs.
Well, there was a game last year where the Elmira Pioneers came in. They fell behind 8-0 early in the third. As that one missing outside, Traumer draws the walk in. The 11th Tarp Skunk to come to the plate this inning. We flipped the lineup over, and it's Tito Kiefer.
And now the top of the lineup is on deck, Grant Moore. And Kiefer, didn't he lead off the inning?
Yes, he did.
And now the pitching coach is coming out here.
Yeah, we might get a quick pitching change here. Not sure. We'll see what's going on, but
he hasn't motioned for the bullpen just yet.
I don't even want to know what that conversation would sound like. I don't think you could air probably a third of it.
Forget the talk on the mound. When he goes back to the bullpen or back to the dugout on the emotion that he's probably feeling after giving up so many walks.
As the home plate umpire finally going out to break out the tea party. 4 runs in the first inning for the Skunks, 6 in the second. 10 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Jamestown. No runs, 1 hit or 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Olean. And the break it up over. Oh, wait a minute. No, we are going to get we are getting a pitching change. So after all of that, we are going to get the pitching change. We'll get you the new pitcher when we come back. Bottom of the second inning, 10-1 Jamestown. New pitcher for the Olean Oilers. And trying to find him on the roster. I know what his name is. I just don't see him on the roster. Oh, that's right, because he is an infielder. It's Matt Buffalo. Utility red shirt sophomore. 6'1", 170 out of Pine Bush, New York. Part of the Canisius crew. So familiar with Grant Moore, Blake Herman, Eric Weeks, Justin Bremner. Third appearance against the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, and he has a tall order ahead of him. Tarp Skunks 6 across here. And Tito Kiefer up for his second at-bat of the inning. This is second game in a row that the Tarp Skunks have flipped the lineup card.
Yeah, it is, again, Tarp Skunks being able to attack very early.
So now the runners retake their positions on the bag. JRC at second, Anthony Trummer at first. And Tito Kiefer, who led off this inning with a single to right field. That seemed like 35 minutes again.
I almost felt like an hour ago. We've been in the second inning for a while.
Well, when you find a place you like, why leave? First pitch. Missing low and away for a ball, 1-0.
I mean, yes. When you're in a place, why leave? But also, how this energy is today. You just gotta love it.
I mean, I woke up groggy, foggy. I'm still working on my morning cup of coffee here. As soon as this game kicked in, the adrenaline up here just from, the kids screaming. That's better than a cup of Folgers. That one taken on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 now.
You're right. We both had to get up a little earlier than expected for this game.
Let's be honest, almost anything's better than Folgers.
Tim Horton.
I'm a Timmy's guy. Even though they don't sponsor us.
They really should.
I know. Timmy, give me a call, bud. We'll get you hooked up. 3-1 now. Tito Kiefer, as Buffalo try to get the Oilers out of this inning. And that's not going to do it. Tito Kiefer drawing a walk. And now the 12th man to come to the plate for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Guy that you don't want to face with the bases loaded. It's Grant Moore.
Yeah, like you said. Also has that speed. Can stretch out what would look like a single into a double and possibly more.
So once again, four's full of Skunks. Moore takes the first pitch he sees outside for a ball, 1-0. And, I've coached Little League before. I've never been in this type of situation. What do you do when you can't stop the bleeding? That one goes all the way to the backstop. JRC is going to come across and score, and it's now 11-1.
Yeah, like you said, when I played high school baseball, our high school was bottom of the division, and games like this was almost every day, and I can feel some empathy or sympathy for the Oilers, because again, when you put your best players out there and it's still not working, it has to be frustrating all around.
The 2-0 pitch. There's a high pop-up right behind the third base bag. Williams calls for it. He puts it away, and mercifully, the inning is over, but the Skunks put up 7. They leave 2. We go to the top of the third inning. Jalen Ferguson's going to get some work in. It's 11-1.
Spagnoli.
New pitcher for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is Reno Spagnoli. Good start for Ryan TATAR, and he will face 5, 6, 7. Let's see. No, he'll face 1, 2, 3. And here to tell you about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thanks, Dre. First pitch fouled behind the backstop. So it is quickly 0-1. Like we said during the break, it's a long game. You gotta have fun anyway. You gotta find the fun in it, whether you're winning or losing.
Well, it's harder to find the fun when you're losing. It's definitely easy to find the fun when you're up 11-1 on Kids Day.
As the second pitch was up and misses, and it's now 1-1. To Connor Vercoloni.
Oilers have a long, hard road ahead of them.
That one's fouled once again. So now it is 2-2. And yes, long road ahead of them. It's only the top of the third, and they're down by 10. Not really a thrilling start for them. That's the 2-2. And that one is over his head. So now it is a full count, 3-2. Spagnoli. It's been a while since we've seen him on the mound.
Last time I remember seeing him was in the Olean game. He pitched that 9th inning. In Olean.
That one fouled once again behind the plate. And good job by Vercoloni being able to extend this at bat. As that is now, I want to say, 8 pitches in this at bat. So 3-2. Or I guess now it's 3-2. Thought he threw 2 balls before, but I guess not. So it is 3-2. And again, Vercoloni fouls it behind the plate. And the kids here getting some free baseballs.
They'll be rushing the Tarp Skunks after the game, getting autographs. One of the favorite activities here for the kids after the game. Tarp Skunks always available to sign autographs, make the kids happy.
3-2, and that one is in the dirt for ball 4. And so now it is Vercoloni at first, and that will bring up Grant Fournier.
For Vercoloni, or make that for Spagnoli, he has to just not worry about what the score is, pound the strike zone. Think of it as a nothing game. Because the last thing you want to do, you have Olean on the ropes right now. You don't want to give them free passes and free runs.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. As that one misses outside for ball. So it's 1-0. And yeah, like you said, you don't want to give them a chance to crawl their way back into this game. It almost happened against the Americans on Saturday. It's the 1-0. And that one is in there. And Fournier watched that one. It is 1-1 the count. Vercoloni at first. Swing and a miss is Grant Fournier. And so now Spagnoli is ahead in the count, 1-2.
That was a home run swing if I've ever seen one right there. He was looking for 400 feet.
And that one hits him on the wrist. And he is a little heated on that. And so now, oh, and he threw the helmet too. I think he might be hurting a little bit. Or where did that hit him?
It looked like it got him on the knee. Either right under the knee or on the shin. I think he's done. He might be coming out. They're going to take a look at him there.
Yeah, I think he's done. He had a hard time trying to walk to first. I think Fournier is done. And again, it's the location coming into effect here. Spagnoli had a hard time trying to close out this at-bat. I mean, when you're ahead in the count 1-2, and then you hit the batter, it kind of drains the momentum that you had going into it.
Yeah, Spagnoli, when he came in against Olean on the road, he had some control issues there as well. So this is definitely, I hate to use the term garbage time, but I mean, this is a good time for him to get some work in against live opposition. And no, he's going to test out that knee, see if he can go. He's a gamer, boy. I don't know, he doesn't want to come out.
Yeah, when you're a player, you don't want to leave the game. You want to play as long as you possibly can. Especially some of them, all of them are college players. Want to make a name for themselves. So that will bring up Anthony Radice. It's Vercoloni at second. Fournier at first and no outs. That one catches the zone for a strike, and it's 0-1 now.
So we'll see how Spagnoli responds if he's able to lock back in and get into the strike zone here. Ooh.
And that one misses. That was inside for a ball, and Radice moved out of the way. We could have saw another hit by pitch. I was saying that I wanted to see that happen.
No.
And that one, and that's in there for a strike.
Had that line from Die Hard with a Vengeance pop into mind. Are you trying to hit these people, McLean? Oh, maybe that mime.
And so the 1-2 fouled behind the plates. We're seeing a lot of these foul balls being hit behind the plate.
You know, going back to the 2020 COVID conversation, confirmed 60 games in 2020.
That was a lot of doubleheaders that season.
Yeah.
That one misses for ball.
Spagnoli wanted that. He did not get it.
So now the 2-2 pitch to Radice. And again fouled behind the plate.
It was a good battle here. Seen a number of good battles.
That's the thing about Olean. Even though haven't been able to draw as many walks as they were able to at the beginning of the season, still able to draw on that bat. So the 2-2 to Anthony Radice. That one is hit, and that one is through. And here comes Vercoloni rounding third, the throw to the plate, and there will be no throw to the plate. And so the Oilers slowly chip at this lead. It is now a 2-11 ball game. And that was a good spot to hit it from Anthony Radice, able to draw out the at-bat, and then a ground ball single through the infield, and here comes Joe Riedebach. And you have a good angle. Do they have somebody warming up?
Looks like they are just getting someone stretched. So, you know, this is another one of those, look, you've got a big lead. Just pound the zone. Don't get fancy. Although he's taking his time here, he might be trying to afford some extra time in the bullpen. I don't see anyone actually throwing yet. Paul Delanto went down there with his catcher's gear.
Paul Delanto, he's given the day off. Well, probably. Let's see if he is given the pinch hit. So here comes Jack Painter. That one is in the dirt for ball one.
You know, I think you're going to see some of the pitchers that don't normally get used, or well, I'm not going to say don't normally get used, but have not been used as much yet early on in this season.
That one misses, same location for ball two. And yeah, when you have as big as a lead as you do, you might not see your big name pitchers come out.
Well, it's also you're still trying to establish what your pitching rotation is going to be in your bullpen and whatnot. Who's going to be the best fit, the best situation.
As that pitch misses for ball 3, and it's a 3-0 count to Jack Painter. But yeah, like you said, they're still trying to establish some starting pitchers. I think they established Barron as their closer, as that one is in there for called strike. So now it's 3-1.
Kind of stuck on a nickname for Barron. I've got 2.
And that one is hit. And that one, Grant Moore gets under it, makes the catch, and Fournier is going to tag, gets to third in time. And so now it is 1 gone. And runners at third and first. And that will bring up Christo Hunsicker.
And he gave that a nice little ride, but a little bit under it. If he had barreled it up, he might have gotten more distance on that toward the hitter's eye out there. That 421 dead center field, because that wind is blowing straight out a little bit to left.
You talk about the dimensions on this field. It's very different. And that one is hit, and that one is through. And Fournier is going to come across to score. Jack Painter at second. And Hunsicker gets a single, an RBI single, and that will bring up Thomas Bates. And again, hitting into that same spot through the infield between third and short. So you got to get 2 outs now. The first pitch is in there for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Again, like I was saying, the dimensions out there, very different. A lot of these other ballparks, it's very clear. And that one, ooh, very close, but that one misses for ball 1.
Yeah, this definitely has a more cavernous feel. You know, and again, it could be from our perch way up here.
That one misses.
No, got it this delayed call.
Okay, that was a good spot. So 1-2 is the count. 2-2.
Yeah, that's the first delayed call I've seen from this home plate umpire. That threw me off a little bit.
So 1-2, that one is hit foul down the right field line into the Oilers bullpen. And again, Bates being able to extend in at bats. That's what you like to see from a hitter when they're down with 2 strikes. Want to protect. And here he goes. That one's in the dirt. Good job by Lindquist to protect and block it, keep it in front, avoid runners advancing.
And there is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen now. So Spagnoli may only go 1 here.
So the 2-2 pitch to Bates, foul behind the plate.
Oh, and Bates wanted that one too.
Fortunately, just got under, and that's the thing with the Oilers in this game. They're getting under a lot of these pitches. So 2-2 count, we'll do it all over again. Spagnoli taking his time to select the pitch. I think he got one here for the 2-2. And that one gets past Lindquist, and both runners advancing. So now Painter is at third, and Hunsicker at second. But 1 out here in the inning.
See if Spagnoli can get the runners out of his mind and just find that last strike to get Bates out here.
So again, with a full count to Bates, and that one's in the dirt. And he walks Bates, and that will bring in Cooper Tarley. You know, it was partly cloudy to start off the game, but now the clouds are starting to come in.
And Joe Riedebach coming in. That is going to do it for Spagnoli, as there is going to be a call to the bullpen.
And that'll do it for Spagnoli. We'll come back to watch who will be the next pitcher for the Tarp Skunks. We'll be back after this.
Camp Churchill, the new Tarp Skunks pitcher, he will come in relief for Reno Spagnoli. And he inherits a jam here. We're going to give you a quick score update. Real quick, other game in the PGCBL going on right now, Elmira with a 5-1 lead over the Newark Pilots. That's in the top of the fourth inning. Later on tonight, the Auburn Doubledays at the Geneva Red Wings, and the Niagara Ironbacks at Niagara Falls game has been postponed. So we'll see if they make that one up via a doubleheader.
I wonder why. That was postponed. I hear it brings in Cooper Tarley.
I don't know. I'm wondering, and not being my usual cheeky self, but I'm wondering if it has something to do with that chemical plant fire that happened Saturday night as we were leaving Niagara.
And swing and a miss is Cooper Tarley. And here comes Camp Churchill. And that's what I like about Camp Churchill is that he's going to bring it at you. Shown to be a very reliable pitcher to get you out of a jam. So 0-1, that one is hit to right center field. That one is going to drop. And one run is going to score. Another one is going to score, and now it is 11-5 ball game. The Oilers are chipping away at this lead, and that will be an RBI double for Cooper Tarley, and that will bring up Derek Stott.
Yeah, difficult position to come into now. 4 runs across here after the Skunks putting up 7 back in the third. We got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah. I mean, the aggressiveness early on. Then the Oilers are able to bounce back. And now they're only down by 6 runs. So, swing and a miss to Derek Stott. I was going to say, and again, Churchill is ahead in the count 1-1.
Yeah, still only 1 out here.
And that was Hansicker and Painter coming across to score. They put up the 4 in the 5. That one is hit out to left. And what a diving effort by Trommer. The runner tags and comes across, but that was amazing by Trommer.
That was an absolute catch. Trommer had to go to his left. Superman dive to snag that one. And that is an ESPN Sports Center quality play out there for Anthony Traumer out in left.
And that will bring up the bottom of the lineup, Dana Williams. Yes, you talk about ESPN highlights. Should really put that on the Tarp Skunks Instagram page.
I'll definitely be cutting that one up early or later today.
That one's fouled behind the plate. And again, Camp Churchill is ahead in the count, 0-1.
Yeah, I'm 2 days behind on cutting all the highlights.
It has been busy these last couple of days.
Just a little.
That one again fouled behind the plate, and it is quickly 0-2. I think they're starting to have some troubles trying to get a good read on Camp Churchill's pitches as they've been fouling it off. And that one, he wanted to swing, held up. So now it is 1-2 count to Dana Williams. The top of the lineup, Connor Vercoloni on deck. And the 1-2, that one is hit. JRC on his horse, trying to make a diving effort but couldn't get to it. It is a foul ball, and now it is 1-2 all over again.
That one just out of his reach, and another good effort by JRC over at first base, Joaquin Rodriguez Costa. Making two very strong efforts at foul balls just out of his reach. Great defensive first baseman.
Here goes the 1-2 again. And that's called strike 3. And that is 3 runs on, no, that is 5 runs on 3 hits. We go to the bottom of the third. It is 11-6 ball game.
(11-6) Tarp Skunks with the lead as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Mark Buffalo back on the mound. He will start his first full inning of work as he came in relief to get out of the bottom of the second. It will be Weeks, Dixon, and Herman due up and stepping up behind the microphone. Once again, it's Jalen Ferguson.
Stepping up behind the microphone. I never heard that one before.
I just make stuff up as I go.
Here comes.
Getting word that the game in Niagara Falls has been postponed due to incoming thunderstorms. So it has been postponed and due to be made up June 11th, from what I'm seeing.
That was ironic because they ended the game, the Niagara Falls game that we were at last week, early due to thunderstorms as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Eric Weeks watches the first pitch strike. So it's 0-1, and he brought in a couple runs via a triple.
1 for 1 on the day, a triple and a walk. Drove in a run, stole a bag.
That pitch was behind him, so it is 1-1.
You got to get your squats in any way you can.
There goes the 1-1. And Weeks wanted to swing at that, but good job holding back. Hit his ball too.
Radice with a great frame job too. Tried to snap it back in the zone. Home plate umpire did not bite.
So the 2-1, that one is away and gets to the backstop. It is 3-1 the count.
So what turned out to be what looked like a blowout early on has turned into a ball game here. It's only a 5-run difference.
Here comes the 3-1 to Eric Weeks. That one misses for ball 4. And just like that, another base runner for the Tarp Skunks. Now, like you said, how they were able to come back. It's amazing what momentum one base runner can start. That'll bring up James Dixon.
Dixon would like to join the hit parade here. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
He would. Got caught looking the first time, swung and missed the second time. As the first pitch is down and away for a ball. 1-1 the count.
You know, it's always one of those weird baseball coincidences. You'll have a game where everybody in the starting lineup except for 1, maybe 2, gets a hit.
And that one, swing and a miss from James Dixon.
You know, left out of the hit parade, and then they come out the next night and they go for 5 for 5, and everyone else goes cold. It's one of those weird baseball things.
It is. But somebody has to. Not somebody has to, but you have that one person. And that swing and a miss. Steals go Weeks, and he's in there. So he gets a steal, and now James Dixon has somebody in scoring position, and he has more incentive to put the ball in play.
Facing a 1-2 count, though, he's got to protect.
It's been the name of the game here, being very protective at the plate. So the 1-2, and that one is a dribbler back up to the mound, throws to first. And that is an easy one out. But Weeks advances to third, and that will bring up Blake Herman, the DH.
So an out, but a productive one, as it moves the runner up 90 feet. Now the Skunks with a runner 90 feet away.
If there's anybody that can drive in a runner from 90 feet away, it is Blake Herman.
Herman hit by a pitch his last time up. I think he leads the Skunks in hit by pitch.
If it's not Blake Herman, then it must be Grant Moore. Those are the two people I see getting hit by the pitch the most. And it's like what you said, that Kenosha mentality.
Canisius.
Or Canisius.
Yes. Kenosha is a city, I think, in Wisconsin. Or is it Chicago, Illinois? I don't know.
That one misses the zone.
It's one of those, don't you know?
It is one of those, don't you know? So 1-1 is the count. And that one, strike on the pitch. So now it's 1-2. And everybody in the infield is on the grass.
This would be a great place for a little Texas leaguer right here.
Eric Weeks have got called out at the plate before. And that one is hit. And that one gets over O'Mara. And that one is going to drive in Weeks. And so Blake Herman gets an RBI single. And so now it is a 12-6 ball game.
Nice piece of hitting. Taking a fastball up and in and keeping the hands tight, turning it inside out and going to right field on it. Very nice.
So now that will bring up Heath Fetchick.
And for Fetchick today, he singled, scored a run, walked, and was thrown out 5-2.
And Blake Herman, fake steal. That one was in the dirt.
Definitely thought about it.
He did think about it, but I think that's just Blake Herman's base running mentality.
Are we going to start doing it's just Blake being Blake?
I think it is just Blake being Blake. That one, another fake steal. That one called strike. So now it is a 1-1 count. Yeah, I think it is Blake being Blake because usually, I mean, the other player I see that is Grant Moore. But Blake Herman, I mean, he gets on base a lot, so you usually see that more from him. And throw to first, not in time. Blake Herman is safe. It's amazing.
Blake Herman coming into this game has been hit 4 times.
And so fouled at the plate.
So now 5 times on the season.
Yeah, 5 times at the season. Blake Herman, not afraid of the baseball. You got to admire that.
It's all part of the game.
So the 1-2 to Heath Fetchick. Blake Herman. And ooh, that one misses Heath. That was very close to hitting him.
It was very Keanu Reeves-like Matrix bend back.
It is super slow-mo.
Bullet time photography.
And Blake Herman, very aggressive lead. The pitch misses, and now it is 3-2 to Heath Fetchick.
And Herman definitely getting into the head of Buffalo on the mound. You can almost see Buffalo wanting to jerk his head as he's in the windup.
Yeah. So the 3-2, that one is hit down the left field line, and that one is fair. Or no, that's foul.
Oh.
That was pretty close. I thought that one was going to stay fair.
By about less than 6 inches.
I won.
It was fair before it went over the bag, but it bounced foul.
I know Heath Fetchick wants that one back. So we'll do 3-2 all over again. Could possibly see Blake actually stealing. And here he goes. That one misses. And so Heath Fetchick gets on via the base on balls, and that will bring in Caleb Jordan.
You know, this is a good inning for the Tarp Skunks after giving up 5. You know, the big worry is you'll end up going 1-2-3 in the bottom of the frame and give Olean momentum. This is doing a good job, though, taking away that momentum that Olean was able to build now. Already a run in and 2 on.
Yes. But you do want to avoid that double play possibility. That one is outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count to Caleb Jordan.
Jordan's walked, scored a couple of runs.
Little infielders in double play position.
Third baseman playing even with the bag.
That one is in there for a strike. It is 1-1. Center field a little bit shallow. A little bit. That circle in the outfield, I want to call it the bullseye circle.
I like that. Maybe we can get a...
That one, double steal, throws to third, and he's safe. So now Caleb Jordan has 2 people in scoring position, and you avoid the double play possibility.
Yeah, that's a great position for Jordan to be in, left-handed hitter. 2 runners in scoring position, looking to try to get those runs back.
But Thomas Bates on the grass here and misses outside for a ball. 1-2.
Is it 1-2 or 2-1?
I think it's
2-2, I guess.
I guess they called strike on the pitch on the double steal. So here comes the 2-2, fouled off of Caleb Jordan's foot. And we'll do 2-2 again.
Painful way to stay alive, but he keeps himself in the at-bat.
Branston Lundquist on deck. It takes a lot of pressure off the hitter when you have two in scoring position. That one misses to the backstop, and Herman comes across, capitalizes on the passed ball, or the wild pitch. And so now it is a 13-6 ball game.
And the Tarp Skunks continuing to put up double digits in the run column. 13 against Niagara Falls. Could have gone more. 13 here tonight. 13 against the Oilers opening night. 14 against the Oilers in Olean.
So here comes the 2-2. That one is hit to Williams. Throws on to Bates, and it's in time. That is the second out. But Kiefer comes across to score. It is now a 14-6 ball game.
Productive out. Not going to shake your head at it at all.
That is a sacrifice, or no? Is that a sacrifice?
No, it's a fielder's choice. Or no, it's just a regular put out with an RBI.
So here comes Branston Lundquist, as he has found that power. He struggled at the start of the season, but he has figured it out. That one is hit down the left field line, fouled.
Just robbed of a granny earlier.
It was. You got to blame that blue monster. The blue cookie monster. I don't know. I tried something with that.
We'll take it under advisement.
The 0-1. That one misses, and it's 1-1. We'll just call it the Blue Monster. I'm sure you have a better name for that than I did.
No, that was the best I could come up with.
And that one misses up. It is 2-1. I mean, it is Kids Day. Probably call it the Blue Cookie Monster just for today. That one is in the dirt. And it's 3-1 to Lindquist. JRC on deck. And so the 3-1 to Branston Lindquist. And that one is hit right up the middle. Williams fields it, throws on to Bates, and that'll end the inning. So, with a couple of hits, I think 3 came across. We go to the top of the 4. It is a 14-6 ball game. We do.
As we are back here at Diethrick Park, 14-6, Tarp Skunks with an 8-run lead over the Olean Oilers. Camp Churchill back on the mound. He will start his first full inning of work. He will face 10-1-2 Williams, Vercolone, and Fournier. And here to serve your baseball play-by-play needs, it is one Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. We go to the top of the lineup here.
No, bottom than top.
Oh, bottom than top.
Yep.
And Dana Williams, he had some work there as shortstop, getting a couple outs, and now he is leading off the top of the fourth here against Camp Churchill. That was a good spot, but it missed, so it is 1-0.
That looked prime choice to me.
That's pretty good. But I do got to give the umpire some credit. He's been consistent.
Oh, yeah.
As that one is in there for a strike, and it is 1-1 to Dana Williams.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job behind the dish. And that's, when you have umpires that you don't notice, that's when they're doing their job, and he's doing a fantastic job. Both of these guys are.
That one fouled back to the Oilers' dugout, and it is a 1-2 count.
I think someone's probably going to be downstairs with a breathalyzer to check me after the game because I don't normally give the umpires this much credit in a season, let alone one inning.
The legendary Dre Guinness. I'm sure you would have disliked Angel Hernandez.
Oh.
With a burning passion.
Oh, just don't get me started on Angel Hernandez. Now it's Laz Diaz.
So the 1-2 pitch to Dana Williams, and swing and a miss, and he puts him out for a K, and that is great momentum for the first out, and that will bring up the top of the lineup, Connor Vercoloni.
Yeah, and that's his second consecutive strikeout. He ended the bottom of the third inning, or the top of the third inning on a strikeout. Now opens up the top of the fourth with one.
So here comes the 0 pitch to Vercoloni. And that one is in there for called strike one.
Yeah, Vercoloni having a Grant Moore type day, hit by a pitch and walk, scored a run back in the third inning. It's no official at bat for him.
And it just goes to show you how important leadoff hitters are.
Mm-hmm.
So the 0-1, that one fouled to the Tarp Skunks dugout, and so now it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, and Camp Churchill showing the importance of first pitch strikes. You get that first pitch strike, it completely changes the dynamic of the at-bat.
I forget what the analytics are. I remember my coach saying this. I think it is an 80% out rate. That one is in there for called strike 3, and just like that, 2 Ks, and that will bring up Grant Fournier.
And I'll tell you, when you're on the mound and you're dealing like that, even pitches that might be a little bit off the black, if you're able to command your spots, the home plate umpire will give you those calls more often than not. Not saying that was necessarily the case there, but...
That one is swing and a drive deep out to left. You had a good eye on that. Did he make the catch?
Absolutely out in left field. Traumer made an incredible catch on the run, and that is the half inning.
So no hits, 2 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is still a 14-6 ball game.
Back here at Diethrick Park, where it is 14-6, Jamestown with the lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Mark Buffalo on the mound to start his second full inning of work. He's going to face 8, 9, 10, JRC, Anthony Tromer, and Tito Kiefer. And once again, it is the best intern in the PGCBL, Jalen Ferguson.
Best intern. I'd go on to say the best broadcaster, but I'm not going to toot my own horn. That one in there for called strike.
I think I might have something to say about that. Keep in mind, I have yet to finish my cup of coffee. I still have some left, so, yeah.
Leon 1 to and that one's fouled behind the plate. Not Lindquist, JRC. Rodriguez
Costa, 2 for 2 today. He's got 4 RBIs on a single and a double.
You know what I'm noticing is that towards the bottom of the lineup, they were struggling, but they wanted to join this hit parade. That one is up there for ball. 1-2 the count. And Dre is yet to finish this cup of coffee. I said during the break, put a note on the door that says fouled down the left field line.
You know, that would make a great note. Just foul down the, I'm going to hang that one up after the game. Foul down the left field line. Warn everybody.
That is foul down the left field line. But no, I was going to say, make a note that says proceed with caution. But then you said proceed with coffee.
I think that's even better.
That one is inside for a ball, 2-2. Proceed with coffee, foul down the left field line. The whole shirt.
That's what happens when you make merchandise and you're half asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning.
2-2. That one is popped up. Williams on his horse. Nope. And Stock calls him out. He gets the first out. And so, one away for the Tarp Skunks. And that will bring up Anthony Tromer, who made a good catch to end the top of the fourth. You had a better view on that than I did. Was it like a diving effort?
No, it was definitely a running effort, but he had a long way to go. He got it about 4 feet in front of the fence out there.
A swing and a miss. You talk about swinging for the fences.
Well, he's definitely feeling some sort of way today. That's his second spectacular defensive play of the game. He had that amazing diving catch back in the, I want to say, top of the third inning? Or maybe it was the second.
Was in the dirt, 1-1 the count. I think it was the third he made that excellent diving effort. Is that one in there for called strike 2? So now Anthony Tromer is behind 1-2. And as the kids are starting to clear out of the stadium.
Already?
Yeah. As that one is hit, slow roller to O'Mara. Makes the close play. He's safe at first. Tromer beats it out, and O'Mara is disappointed. But good job by Tromer, able to beating out the throw, and that will bring up the bottom of the lineup, Tito Kiefer.
Yeah, for Tromer, I think that just shows lack of urgency. Instead of charging the ball and trying to make a play on the move, approach the ball and then set himself, then threw over to first. And by that time, Tromer, with his speed, already was at the bag.
So the first pitch to Tito Kiefer is outside for a ball. You know, O'Mara, he took his time to get to that ball.
And they're going to score that a base hit for Tromer.
That one is in there, called strike. So now it is 1-1. And man, this is some very good officiating, I gotta say. Very consistent. Snap throw to first, not in time.
The only thing I will say about the field umpire, and this is not a knock, this is just an observation, very lackadaisical on his calls. Very just zen, chill out.
And another snap throw to first. Not in time.
It would be like if the dude was a field umpire. The Big Lebowski, for those that didn't get the reference.
So the 1-1 again to Anthony Tromer. That's inside, down low. Dre in his movie references. It's very Dre-like. That's good. Be very original. So the 2-1, and that one called strike. So it's even count, 2-2.
Like to keep it light. Like to keep it. The serious stuff happens when the serious stuff happens. Everything else, just keep it light.
And here comes Trummer on the run. No throw to second. They're just going to give him the steal. So now it is a 3-2 to Tito Kiefer.
Yeah, Radice just showed no interest in Trummer going to second.
Because that ball was in the dirt. Swing and a miss by Kiefer. And he has sat down on strikes. And that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup, Grant Moore. Grant Moore showing his speed. That one in there, called strike.
Did you notice Moore there? He kind of twisted in there trying to sell it on the inside corner.
I mean, it was inside. That's just a good pitch by Buffalo. That one fouled.
Look out in the concourse.
So Grant finds himself quickly behind 0-2. This is the thing with Grant Moore, is that he is behind in the count a lot of the time.
Two strikes don't scare him.
That one, slow roller to O'Mara, this time making an in-time throw to first, and that will end the inning. So one hit, one left on. We go to the top of the fifth. It is still a 14-6 ball game.
Back here in the top of the fifth inning, 14-6, Jamestown with the lead. Due up for the Oilers is going to be 3-4-5, Radice, Pater, and Hunsaker. Back on the mound is Camp Churchill. And back behind the mic is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Always appreciate the best intro, as that one's in there for strike one. And again, Camp Churchill starting off where he left off, throwing strikes. That one is outside and away for a ball. 1-1 the count. And there is action in the Olean bullpen as I look to my right side. And that one fouled. Watch out for the concourse. And that, that one.
That sounded like that came off some bleachers.
Yeah, they hit the bleachers. So now Anthony Radice finds himself in a 1-2 count.
In Newark, Elmira with a 5-1 lead, still in the top of the 6th inning now.
Good spot by Lindquist, just couldn't get to it. So it is 2-2.
Lindquist didn't even move his glove. And he couldn't, the home plate umpire didn't buy it. That one must have been just off the plate.
2-2 misses, and so now Radice was able to work it to a full count now. That's the thing where Radice in this game has been able to work the count, drawing these at-bats. Even though he has gotten out before, he's still able to draw it. That one is hit. That one, it is going to get down for a base hit. And Weeks is the one to field it. So Radice gets a pop single, and that will bring in Jack Painter.
That was the perfect example of a Texas leaguer right in no man's land. The Bermuda Triangle out there.
That actually makes sense. The Bermuda Triangle. And that one is hit to left center. That one's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Here comes Anthony Radice. They bring it back into the infield, and so now runners at third and second. And that will bring up Christo Hunsaker. And again, it's this part of the lineup that was able to bring in 6 runs.
Yeah, very much so. For Painter, that's his second hit on the day. He singled back in the third and scored. Now a double puts him at second. Radice with 2 hits on the game. Hunsaker's been hit by a pitch and flown out to center.
And there are 2 pitchers in the Olean bullpen.
Nothing doing in the Tarp Skunks pen at the moment.
That one misses for a ball. 1-0. You know, I don't think the Tarp Skunks really need anybody in the bullpen just yet.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, Churchill has been pitching very good. So the 1-0. And that hit him in the elbow, and he's going to take his base.
And immediately I would send someone out in the bullpen. Just as a just-in-case measure.
Yeah, just in case. But Camp Churchill has gotten out of jams before. Maybe Joe Riedebach is just trying to see how this next out is created.
Well, we'll see what Thomas Bates can do here. Bates 2 for 2.
So once again, the Tarp Skunks find themselves bases loaded. And JRC playing in the grass. And so is Dixon. That one in the dirt for ball 1.
Bases loaded. Oilers have the oil slick going. So let's see. I've got the force full of skunks for us. Now the bases are patriotic for the Niagara Falls Americans, and now we got the oil slick for the Oilers.
And that one's fouled, and the kids better watch out, because that one is fouled near the buses. So 1-1 the count to Thomas Bates. Yeah, you said that the bases were patriotic. I said they were all American. I don't know.
Oh, I like that one too. That's yours.
And 1-1 or 2-1. That one was outside for a ball.
You keep that. You definitely keep that one in your back pocket. That one is for you.
Bases are all American.
I wonder if they'll steal that from us.
Hopefully not.
I mean, I've had so much stuff stolen from me over my 31 years of broadcasting, it wouldn't surprise me.
And that one is hit. That one's going for no man's land. Nobody can get to it. And one run is going to score. That is Anthony Radice coming across the score. So now, with 2 hits, they drove across 1. It is a 14-7 ball game. Yeah,
and they've been able to square up Churchill. Churchill came in. He was able to fool him for an inning, but now they're squaring up on him, and here comes Joe Riedebach.
might be a conversation. I don't know. Is there anybody warming up? Was there?
No. No one warming up as of yet. I do see some stretching, though. So we might get some action soon, as it looks like... no one up yet. Great job, though, by Eric Weeks. Kind of deking the rest of the Oilers on the base pass so they could only go station to station.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Radice was looking for the tag up. That's why they only got away with one run instead of multiple.
Yep. And that was because, Weeks, the way he was approaching the ball, it almost looked like he might have been able to make a play on it. So
here comes Connor O'Mara.
O'Mara with the double last inning. Drove in a couple runs.
So the 0-0 pitch. And that one gets past Lindquist. Throws on. And he gets a hand in. And he is safe.
And those are the kind of runs that are frustrating, the free ones.
They got past Lindquist. Good job by Churchill for the cover, but unfortunately, Painter got a hand in, and so now it is 14-8.
Couple runs across for the Oilers.
And swing and fouled, but it was in the glove of Branston Lindquist.
I think Churchill needed that. He needed to get back in the zone. He needs to figure out a way to reestablish.
Well, this part of the lineup has established some good hitting.
As there is action in the bullpen for the Skunks.
That one foul behind the plate, and it is 1-2 the count.
That one just below us by about 30 feet. Kind of came this way, but I didn't jump.
It's a little below us. Yeah, we had the best seat in the house, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I was talking to Anthony Merchant at WRFA, and I told him, I've been to this park now 3 years. I have never watched a game from the stands, and I don't know if I could. It would just be too weird for me.
It would be too weird.
These are the best seats in the house.
I felt like that when I was in the bullpen with the players on some of those road games. I belong in the booth. 1-2, swing and a miss. And that one sits down Connor O'Mara. And so Churchill, the first out is a strikeout. And that will bring in Cooper Tarley.
Well, O'Mara was showing Excalibur after that swing. A little bit fooled and tried to hold up a little bit too late.
Cooper Tarley, or no, it was Stott that laid down a bunt. Tarley is showed to also run up the pitch count as the first pitch he watches for strike one. So Christo Hunsaker at third. Thomas Bates at second, and one out here in the inning.
Churchill trying to mitigate the damage.
And that one, another hit by the pitch for Churchill, and the bases are once again loaded.
And we're on Joe watch now.
Probably just going to give do they have somebody in the bullpen now?
Oh, yeah. With urgency, so.
Or just trying to give him more, trying to get him more worn out there.
Might just be trying to give him one more hitter here. Aggressive approach.
Like I was saying back in the fourth inning, I forgot what the analytics is, but I think it's 80% when first pitch is strike that it is going to end in an out. Not too sure. I have to do more research. I'm pretty sure that has changed. That one is hit right up the middle. And Painter's going to come across to score. And here comes Bates. And Bates comes across the score. It wasn't Painter. It was Hunsaker that came across the score, and then Bates. So Stott gets 2 RBIs on the single. That brings in the bottom of the lineup, Dana Williams, and that will also bring in Joe Riedebach, and I'm pretty sure that is done for Camp Churchill.
Yeah, it's going to be the second visit of the inning, so Camp Churchill is going to be done. We'll figure out the new Jamestown pitcher and bring that to you when we come back. Back here at Diethrick Park, the new pitcher, Joe Santos, or as we like to call him, Joe Man Santos.
Just gave you permission to do that too.
Yes, he did.
He contacted you personally.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. Apparently, he's been called. His mom started calling that when he was younger, and it just kind of stuck. And talking to him a little bit, Joe Man, it just fits.
It's catchy.
Left-hander with 1 out. He's got some work to do.
Yeah, Santos, he is shown to get out of an inning, get out of a jam such as this. So a bases loaded situation, Dana Williams up to the plate as he fouls one off behind the plate, and it is 0-1. Or not bases loaded. It is 1 on second, 1 on first.
Yep. A little less pressure.
Stott at first. That's Tarley at second. That one's inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Hey, we could possibly see a double steal here, as Kiefer is playing protect mode at second. Well, Kiefer and Jordan has been interchanging at second. So the 1-1. That one is hit hard down the left field line, fouled.
Just in front of the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
That was hit pretty hard.
Yep. Just a little bit early on a fastball in, spun on it, and if he had waited even just a quarter of a second, that could have been down the third base line for extra bases.
So 1-2. And that one is popped up. Jordan able to make the stop. And he's safe. And Dana Williams able to beat out the throw. But I got to say, that was a pretty tough play to Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough play. It was, again, the Oilers have hit a couple of those in the no man's land. And, those are probably the most frustrating plays because there's nothing you can do except make the effort. But for all the effort that you're going to put in, it's not. It's going to be for naught.
So that brings us back to the top of the lineup, and at the plate is Connor Vercoloni, who watches the first pitch up and away for ball one. Like you said, yeah, they're hitting their spots, hitting it in no man's land. They're not making it easy when they put the ball in play. And that one fouled down the right side. And that one is, that almost hit right in front of the kids in the bleachers on that side.
Yeah, they got to keep their eyes open. I wonder how many of them brought their gloves. If you come to the ballpark, you got to bring your glove.
That is, yeah, you do have to bring your glove here. So the 1-2 fouled again behind the plate, and that one is in the concourse area. And the Oilers have crossed the Mendoza line with 10 runs and 10 hits. That one hit foul down the left field line again.
Look out. Kids in the left field side.
You know, being up here, I kind of forgot what the left side of this ballpark looks like. And that one's in there, called strike 3. And that is a big out for Joe Man Santos.
Huge strikeout. And that's exactly what he was looking for. Got it on the breaking ball. Froze Villiconi at the, or Vercoloni at the dish. He was looking fastball, and that breaking ball just broke his knees.
And that'll bring up Grant Fournier. And yeah, that breaking ball froze him at the plate. That is another backwards K for the Oilers.
And for Fournier, he's the 10th Oiler to make it to the plate.
And that's a good spot called strike. So hopefully they can minimize the damage here. Tarp Skunks up 14-10. The Oilers have more hits than the Tarp Skunks, as that one's fouled down the right field line. Oilers have 10 hits. Tarp Skunks have 6. But that goes to show you that the Tarp Skunks are able to get on base if they're scoring more runs than they are hitting. So 0-2. And Branston Lindquist thought that was strike 3 as he popped up.
I don't know about that. I think he just popped up because that was a little bit up in the zone. He wanted to make sure it wasn't going to get behind him and give up another run.
Doesn't like to pop out, as that one is outside for ball 2.
Now Santos dancing around the strike zone a little bit. He's going to need to come back in.
And outfielders are playing deep. From third to first, they're all playing deep.
Weeks playing actually normal depth out and right.
Fouled again behind the left field line, or behind the plate. I'm looking at JRC. He's almost in the grass in the outfield.
Yep.
Guess they just want to get that final out.
It gives him more time on something sharply hit. He doesn't have to react as quickly.
That one outside. And so now it's a full count, 3-2, and Santos is going to have to put something in the zone. Want to avoid a ball 4 and a run scoring.
Yeah, runners will be going here.
And fouled down the right field line by Fournier.
That one might have been up a little bit in the strike zone. I can tell you as a hitter, you see those, especially on a 3-2 pitch, you see something at the letters to the neck, and you know you should not swing at them. But they are so, so tempting.
It is. I think he got jammed up a little bit on that one. That one, strike 3 on the pitch, and that'll do it. 4 runs on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is now a 14-10 ball game.
As we are back here in the top of the 6th inning, Joanne Santos back out on the mound. He will start his first full inning of work. He will face Radice, Painter, and Hunsaker. 3-4-5 due up for the Olean Oilers. And I'm joined up here in the booth by the father of, I'm calling him legendary already at this point, the legendary Tarp Skunks catcher, Branson Lindquist. Ben Lindquist joining us here. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here today.
Absolute pleasure to be here. And, you know, when we were at the winter meetings and Frank Jagoda was announcing some of the returning players, when Branston's name was mentioned, my eyes just lit up. I was so glad that he was going to be coming back. As the first pitch from Santos, taken for a strike, 0-1. You know, obviously growing up here in the Faulkner area, you know, being around this ballpark, how special is it not only for you, but for him to be playing in this ballpark for the home team?
It's a great experience for him and for us as a family and friends. And, you know, coming here as a kid, myself, him coming here as a kid, we've been, you know, growing up around the ballpark, and to play in front of the hometown, in the hometown, and fans, it's been great for him.
As Santos pours in a curveball for a strike quickly, 1-2. To Radice. You know, last year he was kind of stuck behind a couple of more established catchers in the college ranks with Jacob Haynes, as that one just misses on the inside corner, 2-2. And Nate Borchardt. This year, he's kind of in that top-tier leadership role. The difference between last year and this year, and, you know, I know we went to Toledo and then came back to JCC to get some more reps, and had a great season here last year. Talk to me about the progression from last year to this year and how he's approached it.
Yeah, you know, last year coming in as a high school graduate out of St. Mary's up in Buffalo, it was a great experience for him to
swing and a miss. And Santos gets the strikeout to start the first inning.
To get away from home, you know, yet still be close to home, live in the dorms, be around the college guys, and, you know, to not see a lot of playing time at Toledo this year was tough for him, but he was prepped for it because he got to spend the summer, you know, with college guys who prepped him for that.
And now this year, you know, he's starting off a little slow at the plate, and we've seen that with a lot of Skunks hitters. So it's not necessarily an early season slump or anything like that. It's just, you know, a lot of seeing different pitching, different mentalities. And now, you know, the last couple of games, he's just been tearing it up out there.
Yeah, he, you know, had limited at bats, just a handful of bats at Toledo this spring, and you know, so hadn't seen live pitching in a bit. So it took him a few games to kind of, you know, get to the timing and get that confidence back, and put the barrel on the ball a couple of times, and you go up there with a different mindset, you know, each at bat. And he's been fortunate to have the bases loaded a few times these last couple of games and capitalized on it.
Yeah, just he got robbed earlier, that blue monster out there in left field. As there's a ground ball too short on the backhand is Kiefer. Throw on to first. JRC unable to pick it, and a runner on. That'll probably be scored in there. Let's see what the actual call is. Oh, they're waiting on it. Well, we'll figure it out when we get to it. But, you know, the difference, too, you know, last year Frank Gigoto was managing. This year it's Joe Riedebach. What has he said about the differences between last year's team and this year's team?
You know, he had a great experience last year. This summer, we just talked to him over the weekend a little bit, and he said, you know, great group of guys this year. Everybody gets along. You know, they've gelled really well. You know, there's some continuity on the team as well. You know, Joe was here last year, and, you know, a lot of the guys developed a great rapport with him. Coach Pat DeMarco's back again this year. Nick Iannello, who pitched with the team last year, is back as an assistant. So there's some continuity in the leadership roles. And I think that's probably helped these guys. And you've got, 6, 7, 8 guys anyways that are back and, you know, that were good players last year. And they're back, you know, everyday starters again this year too. So it's been, I think that's, you know, a lot of what's led them to a very fast start, so to say.
Yeah, and they've got some reinforcements coming in. Justin Bremner for last year, who is the single-season franchise leader in hits and RBIs for a season. He's just checked in. He's back and ready to go. Nolan Smith will be due back in. But, you know, we've got Blake Herman. We have Eric Weeks. Getting Grant Moore and Paul Delanto from the Niagara Falls Americans really filled it out. You know, last year, 29 wins for the Skunks. And, you know, winning their first home playoff game, get the total of 30. This team, you know, starting at 6-1, it seems like they're a juggernaut, and they're leaps and bounds ahead of where they were last year.
Absolutely. You know, they, you know, when we're, from what I've seen, when we're throwing strikes, you know, it is going to lead to some wins, and because we apparently can hit.
Yeah, and there's a strikeout there to Christo Hunter, 2 down now, and that'll bring up Thomas Bates with 2 down. So, you know, how long has Branston, like, been a catcher? Did he start off as a catcher? Has he always wanted to be a catcher? And where does he get that catcher mentality? Because catchers and goalies, they're a different breed.
They are. A pass ball there.
That one goes all the way to the backstop as the curveball slipping out of the hand of Santos. And runner moves up 90 feet.
So he's been a catcher since he was probably 3 years old, if you will. We've got a picture of him wearing my catcher's gear, you know, back when I was playing a men's league game. And, you know, you go back to coach pitch, minor league, little league. He's just, you know, he grew up around the game, and he watched me catch.
As Week circles under the weak pop-up, and the sides retired, nothing doing for the Oilers. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning, or 6th inning. And still 14-10. We'll keep it here, though. Keep the conversation going.
Yep, that's fine.
And, you know, so like father, like son then behind the dish. So you've kind of been there always mentoring them, you know, helping them behind the plate.
Yeah, yep. And, you know, so there's some, you know, when he was little league age, 9, 10 years old, you know, we had one of the biggest kids in the league pitching, threw hard, and, you know, I think he could knock Branston over sometimes if Branston caught a fastball square. And, but it's just something he fell in love with. And, you know, he's a grinder. He's always been that way. And, you know, thankfully, you know, the body is filled out, and God blessed him with some talent. And, you know, it's led to some opportunities.
And so does he kind of have that bulldog approach in all of his aspects in his life, when it comes to school, when it comes to just anything else? Is it always he knows what he wants and he goes right after it?
Yeah, you know, he's like any teenage, you know, male, if you will. You know, school's probably the lower on the list, but, you know, he had a 3.6, you know, GPA at Toledo this year. And, you know, so he's done well there. You know, he's gotten into playing some poker with the boys and stuff, and having some fun. And, you know, when he finds something that attracts him and interests him, he dives right in. and is kind of full send mode, and that's where he's been at with baseball, and probably will be in life, wherever direction it takes him.
So after this season's over, I mean, what's next for him? Is he looking to go back to Toledo? Is he going to go into the transfer portal and maybe look for, opportunities elsewhere that he might be able to get more at bats, more playing time?
Nope, he's heading back to Toledo, and despite limited playing time, he had a great experience there. He liked the guys, liked the staff. It's set up well for him going forward. And, so he's here, getting at bats and just, fine-tuning the game, and with the opportunity to hopefully see more playing time and hopefully, be the day one guy, be the number one guy next year. And let's just kind of see how it all plays out.
So my experience playing catcher is very limited to maybe 4 or 5 games. I absolutely hated it just because, and it wasn't really the foul tips or any of that. The worst part about it was you always had that grit in your teeth from all the dust billowing up. It was always the worst. What for you? What's the worst part about being a catcher? And for Branson, what would you think he would say is the worst part about being a catcher?
Well, as I'm approaching year 49 in my life this year, and all the years of catching and umpiring, it's going to be the knees later on and how they react. But for him right now, it's the whole body, right? You get beat up by foul tips, you get beat up blocking the ball. A hot day like this, you're just out there grinding and working hard. And catchers are never 100% healthy, not even on day one of the season usually.
New pitcher for the Olean Oilers is going to be Brock Wenzel. He quickly goes 1-1 to Caleb Jordan. 14-10 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that one poured across for a strike, 1-2. I think for me, the one thing that I've always wondered about, and it's no matter how many times I've been walked through it and everything, is coming up with the signals and being able to flash the signs. I never was able to get that done. As there's a return to sender ground ball right to the pitcher, quick flip over to first, and quickly one away. How do you get that down? Because, especially you're going to have different pitchers with different pitches. They're going to want to go to a different sequence. How do you keep track of all of that?
It's a lot of pregame. I know these guys come in with a game plan before every game, and they do a lot of scouting, and just kind of knowing how you want to attack each hitter.
As Branson Lindquist comes in, perfect timing. Branston takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Now, this happened a couple years ago. We had Austin Matrenga on the team. I was talking to David Matrenga at the time, and Austin actually grounded out to shortstop. So, a lot of pressure here on Branson. He's got to outperform the past.
Let's see, just trying to put a good at bat together and put a barrel on it.
And I love his approach at the plate, too. Not a lot of wasted motion. As there's a high fly ball opposite field out to right. Underneath it is Tarley. He puts it away for out number 2. Hey, he got it out of the outfield. We'll give him the credit for that one.
Yep. Work hard every day, and some days are better than others. And first at bat started out well for him. He's been looking for another base hit here today, but maybe we'll get another at bat or two before the game's over with.
Well, with the way this game's going, 6 at-bats may not be out of the realm of possibility. Again, 6 RBIs the other night. He has 3 today. 9 RBIs in the last couple of games. Pretty impressive. As JRC takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. I wanted to talk to you about the one-ball challenge that I've seen you promoting on social media a lot. Tell the viewers about that.
Yeah, so I am a testicular cancer survivor myself, dating back 20-plus years ago. I was diagnosed, and it's something that I started a few years after that. We started a wiffle ball tournament to raise awareness and raise funds for testicular cancer. Lined
in a right field, a base hit, and JRC really turning it on today. That's his 3rd hit of the day. And with 2 down, that's going to bring up Anthony Traumer.
Looks like we got a pinch hitter here.
Oh, speaking of Justin Bremner making his return to the Tarp Skunks, Justin Bremner Last year, 48 hits, 38 RBIs, team record in both. And now JRC taking a little bit of a dance off first base. We'll see how Bremner's feeling coming in. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1.
So we started a wiffle ball tournament we've been doing for 13 years now, and then followed it up with a golf tournament. And I created a foundation called the One Ball Foundation for testicular cancer. And our mission is to raise awareness and funds for and support those individuals going through testicular cancer. And we have a wiffle ball tournament coming up at the War Vets in Jamestown on Saturday, June 27th. It's always the Saturday after Father's Day. And registration's still open at oneball4tc.com. And you can go find us on Facebook and social media as well.
Checking a swing. Umpire says he went around quickly, 1-2 to Bremner.
And then we do a golf tournament, a golf scramble in September every year. And I think it's the 19th this year. The date's not on the top of my head. I'm too focused on the wiffle ball tournament here in a couple weeks.
1-2 pitch. There's a chopper to third. Nice pick by Stott. Throw on to first. Nice pick at first by Bates. And the inning is over. No runs. One hit, one runner left. We go to the top of the seventh inning. It's 14-10 Jamestown. Ben Lindquist, I want to thank you for joining us here. I want to thank you for your support, for all that you do, and thank you for raising a great example and a great son. And looking forward to having you back later on in the season when we get to the playoffs.
That sounds great. I'll take that invitation later. And thanks for what you do, Dre, and go Skunks.
Absolutely. We'll be back in just a moment. New pitcher here for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, and when I say new pitcher, I mean new pitcher. Making his Tarp Skunks debut is number 31, Eli Bryant, listed on the roster as number 96. That'll get changed. But for Bryant, comes in 6 foot, 205 pounds, 6'2", 205 out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. And he is going to face... Who is he going to face? He is going to face...
Well, that one is hit to center, short of the bullseye, and he gets a single.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know. I lost track of my scorebook. But here's Jalen Ferguson. He'll tell you all the things that I can't.
Well, since it was Tarley, since it's Tarley up to the plate, that was Connor O'Mara.
Yeah, that's right. There was a strikeout at the end of the sixth. I got all excited because, Ben Lindquist coming in to talk with us.
That's a pretty good interview.
Thank you.
This guy. And that one gets past Lindquist. And O'Mara advances to second on the wild pitch. That was a pretty good interview. Lindquist's father shown to be he's very active.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In involved with the Babe Ruth World Series that happens here after the Tarp Skunks season. And if you're interested, we'll get you more information on the One Ball for Cancer wiffle ball and golf tournament.
As that one misses for a ball, it's 2-1 to Cooper Tartley. And man, the energy here, man, you gotta wonder, is that like starting to sink in on the Tarp Skunks here?
I don't think so, because at this point in the game, I think they've tuned that out. They're locked in. They're ready to try to just get another win, trying to get their 7th win in 8 games.
I mean, it's really bold of Joe Riedebach to put a pitcher who hasn't had any pitching experience, and we've seen multiple games, not even just the Tarp Skunks. We saw it last week, but pitchers who haven't pitched a game really struggle.
Well, they've got to get in the game somehow.
That one misses. And that one is ball 4. Cooper Tartley gets on first. That will bring in Derek Stott. But like you said, he has to get his work in somehow. I do understand that. But at this point, it's a brand new ball game. I mean, even though the Skunks are up by 4, there are 2 base runners on, and Stott has shown to drive in runs. As that one is hit to Kiefer. Kiefer on the Jordan to JRC, and he could not complete the double play. However, they do get the out at second, so it is 6-4 fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was just way too much speed on the back end of that fielder's choice. Good call on that, by the way. As moving to third is O'Mara, so first and third now, 1 out, and another speedster in Dana Williams, and he puts it on the ground.
He can lay down a bunt. He's proven that.
Yeah, dangerous.
That one is off for a ball. So 1-0 is the count. And he made Lindquist walk on his knees to get that one. Overcast here in Diethrick Park, but some of the sun is shining, at least for the moment.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. That one is hit foul down the left field line.
That one way out of play.
Yeah, that was out of play. Need some contact on that. So now it is 1-1 the count for Bryant and Dana Williams. Connor Vercoloni on deck. That one up for a ball. 2-1 is the count.
That may be one of my favorite names here in the PGCBL.
Connor Vercoloni.
Vercoloni.
It kind of rolls off the tongue a little
It does.
bit. So O'Mara at third. Stott at first. And Stott is going to go. That one is hit up the middle. Cannot get it to it. And so that is a base hit. And that will bring in O'Mara. And now it is 11-14 ball game, or 14-11 ball game.
Yeah, that took a weird hop on Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan was trying to cover the throw to the throw to second on the steal, and then it got past him. So now that'll bring out Vercoloni at the plate. And that one is hit to Weeks. Weeks got to come in. Hopefully a throw to first, not in time.
Ooh.
Could not get to him. But now
That was
got 2 outs.
That was a heck of an effort. I don't even think if the throw was online they would have gotten him, but it was just that close. But see, that's Weeks smart. He's playing in shallow against the right-handers.
I'm bringing up Grant for in the air. And yeah, like you said, a couple steps back, but then once he saw it at its peak height, he came in and tried to make a throw to first.
More importantly, able to keep that run from third from scoring.
Again, another ball away. And he's really making Lindquist work behind the plate.
Well, this is probably I mean, I'm sure they've had some work together in the bullpen, but first live game.
1-0. And swing and a miss is Grant Fournier. And now it is an even count at 1-1. So Dana Williams at first. And Stott at third with 2 outs here. And a steal, throw to second, and he's out! They got him!
Wow, what a throw by Lindquist to get the speedy Williams at second.
So with one left on, with one hit, one comes around to score. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is a 14-11 ball game.
Bottom of the 7th, stretch time here for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks as they hold on to a 14-11 lead. We got a new pitcher out there for Olean, or is it the same? Nope, still Brock Wenzel. Still Brock Wenzel out there. And he will face Tito Kiefer, then the top of the order in Grant Moore and Eric Weeks and Jalen Ferguson to tell you all about it.
That one is inside. Tito Kiefer had to move out of the way there. You know, I think the Tarp Skunks are going to need to bring back some of that first inning aggressiveness as the Oilers have been chipping away. Someone is fouled. And that should hurt your pride a little bit when you were up by 7 runs and then let them chip away back.
Oh, I'm sure it does a little bit. I mean, this is definitely a 3-act play as we're entering the 3rd act.
That one is hit, and that one gets past Williams. And so Kiefer leads it off with a ground ball single.
And the first act of this play, 14 runs put up by the Tarp Skunks in the first 3 innings, 4, 7, and 3. And the second act, nothing but zeros.
But you're starting to notice that with the Tarp Skunks, pounce on the starting pitcher, and then those middle innings, they kind of just put up zeros, but then they bring it back towards the end. So here comes the leadoff, the top of the order, Grant Moore, as he tried to lay down a bunt but pulls back for ball 1. So it's 1-0. And Tito Kiefer dancing at first, and a throwback to first, and he's safe.
That was more of an I see you type of throw. Moore has been a terror on the base paths, though.
He has.
Extra base hits galore. When he gets on the base via walk or hit by pitch, stolen bases all over the place.
And Kiefer wanted to go, but good job by Radice to keep it in front and keep Kiefer at first. You know, I remember you saying, like, you know, towards the bottom of the lineup, you know, you get alarmed. But again, when you have people at the top who be hitting doubles and triples like Grant Moore does, it kind of takes some pressure off of them, just a little bit.
2-1 now, and this is a great hitters count.
And Grant Moore likes to work the count in his favor as he watches for ball 3-1. And again, it's the good thing with the 10th hitter and Kiefer. You know, he can steal too. The 2-1. That one is hit deep towards right. Ooh. And Tarley was on his horse, almost was in center field, and makes very good effort for the first out.
Tarley looked like he was trying for the 40-yard dash time at the NFL Combine there, just tearing it into that shallow Bermuda Triangle zone, losing his hat, sliding to make that catch.
And that will bring in Eric Weeks at right field. And Weeks needs to capitalize on a base runner here. Snap throw to first. Not in time. Kiefer is safe.
14 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Tarp Skunks, 11-11-3 for the Oilers.
And Kiefer's going. That's a strike on the pitch, and he's safe at second.
Well, you think he's safe. It took the field umpire, but, you know, he had to put down his white Russian and bathrobe and then make the call.
I mean, but once O'Mara tried to put down the tag, Kiefer was already starting to stand up.
Yeah, I know, but you never know these umpires. They don't even like it when we show them up.
That one's foul behind the plate by Weeks. So again, that's the thing. The Tarp Skunks able to get on base and put themselves in scoring position. Now, all they need to do now is just capitalize on this.
Yeah, and I also think it's very important for them to at least get that 1 run back that Olean got in the top of the 7th inning. That way, get that insurance run back, have that 4-run lead going into the last couple of frames here.
Kiefer doing his dance at second. That one is hit. And nobody's going to get to it. It's fouled. And so now Eric Weeks is trying to protect with an 0-2 count.
Doing what he does best, protecting. Fighting through and at bat till he gets something he likes he can drive.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, I'm not too worried when it comes to towards the end. I mean, Barron has showed to be the closer for the Tarp Skunks.
Wonder if we're going to see him here.
That one is inside, and Eric Weeks wanted that to hit him. Instead, that was inside for a ball. 1-2.
No activity in the Skunks bullpen yet, so.
But there is activity in the Oilers bullpen.
Eli Bryant will come out for the 8th inning. And we might see Barron in the 9th.
So the 1-2 to Eric Weeks. And that one's outside for a ball. 2-2.
And if you haven't watched Chase Barron, either in Batavia or in Olean, guy just throws gas. No apologies.
He does throw gas. That's why he's getting a lot of strikeouts. Someone's foul behind the plate by Weeks.
Got his first save against Olean. He actually got the win in Batavia, so 1-0 with a save.
It's a pretty close game. Not only that, the game against the Ironbacks, he also got the save in that one.
I'm not sure if I want to call him all business Chase Barron or bad news Barron, because when he comes in, it's bad news for the other team.
I think it is. And, ooh, that one missed. That's a stone cold take by Weeks.
Ice water in the veins to watch that one off the plate.
And so now it's 3-2 for Weeks. Kiefer at second and one away here in the bottom of the 7th. And that one is hit. And that one gets down. And Kiefer is rounding third Trouble at center field. It's not in time, and Kiefer comes across the score. It is now a 15-11 ball game as Eric Weeks drives in a RBI single.
And for Eric Weeks, that is mission accomplished. We talked about you want to get that run back that Olean scored in the top of the frame. Weeks single-handedly taking care of it himself, driving in Kiefer from second with that line drive base hit, and now 15-11. This is the most runs Jamestown has put up this season. They were tied with 14 against Olean in Olean.
I wonder if that's the most that has been this season. I remember
Yes.
it was a game. I think it was a game that went 21-11.
Oh, you're talking about totally in the league? Mohawk Valley put up 20 against, I think it was Anianta. It was like 20-10.
And that one is hit. And that one is in the shallow left. Williams makes the catch for the out. So now it's 2 away. And that will bring up Blake Herman. And Blake Herman, if there's anybody who can drive it and bring across a run, it is him. Who knows? He might even drive himself across. He's done it before.
Yeah, officially 1 for 3 on the day. 5th at bat. He reached on an error, singled, got hit by a pitch, and reached on a fielder's choice. Also scored a couple of runs.
That one is outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. You know, this wind has been, at the start of the game, it's been blowing to center, but then it's been interchanging from left to right. Steele and Weeks advances and gets the stolen base. And, you know, he hasn't been on the team for I want to say 5 days, maybe more than that, and he's worked himself a few steals.
So he came in,
I want to say Tuesday from last week.
well, no, his first game was, well, he came in early. His first game was in Batavia.
He's got a couple steals. I think quite a few, actually.
Yeah. He's picking up right where he left off here in this ballpark. I think he likes playing here.
3-0 the count to Blake Herman. That one is in there. And it's 3-1. They gotta have it pitch.
Yeah. And this is the most runs that I remember the Tarp Skunks in my 3 years doing this have scored in a game.
And that one's ball 4. And Blake Herman advances.
Well, it was either ball 4 or it hit him, but either way, he's aboard.
And that'll bring in Heath Fetchick. You know, I'm looking down the corners. I remember before the season, the Lafayette corners is what you would call it. But nobody has hit it down the right field or left field line.
I know. We got a great marketing opportunity, and we can't tie anything in.
That one is hit to Williams. Williams throws to first, and he got him out. So 1 run scores on 1 hit, no errors. We go to the top of the 8th. It is a 15-11 ball game.
As we're back here at Diethrick Park, it is going to be 2-3-4 due up for the Olean Oilers, and due up to the microphone for his 5th inning of work is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. Man, you really got me working out here.
Hey, I told you I had to make it up to you. I took all your innings. Whoa! Wow. Thank you. Come again.
Now that is about as close as it's going to get this year. Has that happened before?
Yeah. We had one that hit above. We had one that's hit below. So now I've had all 4 sides. I'm ducking every time.
And he lays down a bunt. Here comes and they can't make the play on him. And so Fournier hits himself a single via a bunt, and that will bring in Anthony Radice. I'm still a little frazzled from that foul ball that hit right next to us, actually.
No announcers or wood in the broadcast booth were harmed in the making of that foul ball.
No, just our PTSD.
Are we getting a pinch hitter here? Or?
Maybe a pinch runner.
That could be.
I don't know who that is at first.
We'll figure it out as soon as we do. We'll pass that along.
Anthony Radice is up. And that one's inside for a ball.
Got to be careful there.
Here's the thing. Even though the Tarp Skunks are only up by 4, we have seen, and how they've been scoring, both teams, a lead is non-existent in this game.
Not very safe, I would say.
And that one misses for ball. 2-0 is the count. And yeah, a lead in this game is not really safe. Got to protect as much as you can. Fake steal. Hit on to Kiefer. Throws to Caleb Jordan. Jordan on the first. Gets the double play. And just like that, they get 2 outs on this hard part of the lineup.
Pitcher's best friend, a 6-4 or a 6-4-3 double play, and a great job by Kiefer to get that up to Jordan, and nice turn. This time, able to turn the double play, and now with 2 outs.
That's Jack Painter up the plates.
I think
that's a good spot, but misses.
I think Bryant can breathe a little easier now.
It can. But again, Painter and Hansicker and Bates been putting the ball in play. Someone fouled down the right field line. First base coach could not make a play on that one, unfortunately.
Got to dive for him. I remember Don Zimmer for the Cubs. He used to do that. Tommy Lasorda, when he was at third base, would.
Here comes 1-1. Swing and a miss. And just like that, Bryant is in control here with a 1-2 count.
I actually can't believe that I just invoked the name of Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda. 1-2. Misses into the dirt. It's 2-2 here.
As a Giants fan, it was my moral obligation to hate him. And I did when he put on the Dodger uniform. But, when he took the uniform off, I understand he was a good guy.
2-2. Swing and a miss. And just like that, the side is retired. No hits, a double play. It is still 15-11. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 15-11.
15-11 Tarp Skunks with the lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brock Wenzel back on the mound for the Olean Oilers. He is going to take on, we have a pinch hitter, I believe. Looks like Jackson Enders. It's going to be Jackson Enders, Enders, Lindquist, and JRC. And here's Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If Enders is pinch hitting for Caleb Jordan, that means they're going to put him at second.
Yep.
And that one is hit. He got under it. And Fournier makes the catch at the outfield bullseye. And quickly it is one away.
Let's see. He was probably in the, 25-point circle?
25-point circle. Yeah, a little bit. That brings up Branston Lindquist.
Lindquist flew out to right field his last time up. He's also grounded out to short, reached on a fielder's choice, and had that 3-run double.
That one is hit behind the plate to the Tarp Skunks dugout. And so now it is 0-1.
And again, it does not look like any activity in the Tarp Skunks bullpen, so it looks like it's going to be Eli Bryant's game in the 9th.
And that one, I thought that hit him, but I guess it fell right in front of him. So now it is a 1-1 count to Branston Lindquist.
Wenzel doing his best cricket audition.
I guess they're going to give Bryant the game here. So that one is hit to Stott on the baits, and he gets the second out via a 5-3 play. So now it's 2 gone. And that quickly brings up JRC.
JRC having an outstanding day today. 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. A couple of singles, a double back in the second that drove in 3. He's also popped out to third.
That one is in the dirt for ball 1. You know, JRC did struggle to start it off, but this was his breakout game. Branston Lindquist had a breakout game last game. So I think this was JRC's game. That one misses in the dirt for ball 2. And, you know, the amount of hits that have been scored for the Tarp Skunks, or the amount of runs, I'm at a loss for who is today's most valuable stinker.
I'm struggling with that too.
So that one is ball 3 for JRC.
I might take the cheap way out.
It's that one, and he watches 4 pitches, and he gets on first.
I might take the cheap way out.
So here comes Bremner as he pinched hit for Anthony Traumer his last time out.
And again, good to see Bremner back wearing the familiar number 9.
Ironically, number 9 used to be my number in high school. As that one is fouled behind the plate to the Tarp Skunks dugout.
Well, interesting fact about Bremner, he is the only Tarp Skunk that has hit the $50 donation sign.
I know you have something for that.
What was $50 to charity?
As that one is hit deep out to center, but unfortunately, Fournier is going to get under it and makes the catch for the out. So no hits, 1 left on. We go to the top of the 9th. Hopefully, Bryant can close this out. We'll come back after this. Here at the top of the ninth here, it brings up Crystal Hunsaker, Bates, and O'Mara. And here to close out, hopefully, this game, it is the Dre Guinness.
You know, I've been warming up in the bullpen. I'm ready to go. As Eli Bryant on the mound for his third inning of work, looking to get the 3-inning save here. As Hunsaker stands in. There's a high pop-up into foul territory, drifting out of play. 0-1 the count.
That one hit the bleachers, just the corner of it, actually.
For Hunsaker, he's been hit by a pitch, scored a run. He's flown out to center, hit by a pitch and scored a run and struck out. So I think you're all right as long as you don't hit him.
Yeah, I think that's the moral of the story with him.
Fouled off at the plate quickly, 0-2. And Eli Bryant, with the exception of a little bit of a speed bump last inning, has come out and done a great job.
But again, this part of the lineup has shown to be very tough.
Oilers won the NYCBL last year. There's a ground ball through the hole under the glove of the diving Jackson Enders and a leadoff single for the Oilers.
Again, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, they're hitting it in their spots as it just got past Jackson Enders.
Thomas Bates now stands in.
Again, Thomas Bates is another guy who can see it and then drive it.
He's been on base 3 times today with a strikeout. There's a ground ball, 2 second. That could be 2. Steps on the bag for 1. Throw on a first. 2. In time, a double play. And the Skunks are 1 out away from closing out their 7th victory in 8 days.
You know, I gotta say, when we talk about the game's most valuable stinker, I gotta give it to Kiefer on this one. The amount of double plays that he has been able to turn, I got to give it to him defensively.
I got to give it the cheap way out. I'm going to say everybody on the team that has played today. Hazard.
I also got to give it to JRC, though.
Yeah, JRC. Branston Lindquist says there's a weak grounder to third. Barehand pickup, throw on to first. In time, the ball game is over, and the Jamestown Tarp Skunks defeat the Olean Oilers by a final score of 15-11. The Tarp Skunks improve their record to 7-1. The Oilers drop to 3-5. The Tarp Skunks will be back here tomorrow night, 6:30 for the first pitch as they welcome in the Niagara Falls Americans for their first appearance here. Again, 6:30 for the opening pitch. Again, 15-11, an excellent win for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And for my broadcast partner, Jalen Ferguson, I'm Dre Guinness, thanking you all for joining us here tonight. We will see you tomorrow night, and until then, good night, everybody.